I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what? I was speaking off air, and I was telling Bilal how tired and I'm not feeling too good last couple of days. Possibly something to do with my foot golf for the Big Six performance again, but we won't go into that. And then Liverpool cheered me up, and then that intro just got me really, really hyped up. And I must thank Bilal for the intro. First and foremost, people, welcome to Grizz Khan TV. It's the call-in show. It's Saturday night. It's your call-in show. We've got lots to talk about. We've got possible parades to organize, man. We out here charity shield winners, you know what I mean? 2023. So we're gonna get into that, people. You're all very, 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 very welcome. Yeah, I know people are jamming. People are jamming to that song, man. Eunice
Yeah, that song. That song is hype. It's hype song. Yeah, it's hype.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, people. I apologize if I'm a bit somber, a bit slow today. I'm not feeling 100%, but it is what it is, man. We've got so much to talk about, and I reckon by the time the conversations start flowing, I think I'm going to be real, real good. Of course, I'm joined by Bilal, who's become my co-host on the call-in show. Bilal, man, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good today. Bit of a long day, like on a personal level, but the football kept us going today. Obviously, my team today played Arsenal, little preseason. Saw them just batter Sevilla, and then the big one, the big game, Liverpool Man City. And I don't know, some people say the Community Shield isn't important or whatever. For me, I look at it as a trophy. I think that's the first time Liverpool have won it. Oh yeah, it's a trophy. Look at Bayern right now. They just won the Super Cup. For them, that's a trophy. They said first trophy of the season. So you want to win that. If they change the name from Community Shield to, I don't know, English or British Super Cup or English Super Cup, let's say, then people maybe will take it more seriously. But for me, it is a trophy. And when you're playing Liverpool Man City, it's a big game. You saw the level of the game. Okay, there was maybe some few sloppy touches here and there by some players, maybe a little bit out of, not fully sharp. But the actual intensity of the game for me showed that both teams wanted to win. And you saw the celebrations after. So for me, come on.
It's amazing how different people see games differently, right? And you're right. But for example, look at the way most people are hyping up. But look at our brother Selection in the building. He goes, that game was dead. Like, that game was dead. He just called that game dead. Selection. I sometimes I struggle with your opinions, man. Of course, it's a game of opinions, and you're respected to yours. But sometimes I struggle with yours, brother. Sometimes I struggle with yours. People, there's over 170 of you in here, man. People want to talk. It's good to talk. Saturday night, it's good to talk. Get it off your chest. I'm here for you lot. I'll try not to talk too much today. It's all about what you lot want to talk about. I have a sense, a feeling of what you guys want to talk about. Of course, the link to join is pinned in the chat, people. Hit the link. Make sure you've got your camera on. Make sure your audio is good. And you're good to go. We have a new member of the channel, Avinash. Big up yourself. In fact, Avinash is probably going to be our first call. I'm going to get him in a couple of minutes. He's in the background waiting. People, as you guys already know, new callers and channel members will be given priority. Is he a City fan? Is he a City fan? I don't even know. Selection, are you a City fan? All this time I thought you were a Liverpool fan. Nah, man, you need to let us know if you're a City fan, man. All this time I thought you were a Liverpool fan. Let us know.
He says he's not.
He's not, okay.
Yeah, he says he's not there. I can see it.
Yeah, some of them not watching the game, just highlights maybe. But even the highlights were big, man. That game was big, man. But it's interesting you started off that point about, is it a trophy? Is it major? Any indications on how the season's going to go? It's a good way. Maybe the callers will have an opinion on that and we can go from there. That's a good starting point. I'm just blunt and honest, okay? Well, people, let him know in the chat. Converse with each other. It's all a community here. Let him know. Of course, he's blunt and honest, but it's just your opinion, my friend. That game was not dead, in my humble opinion, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to get the first caller of the night. People, you already know what to do. Nearly 200 of you in here. Please hit the like button. It's so easy to do, and it helps with my algorithms. What are you laughing at, Bilal? What have you seen?
The comments are killing me, man. The comments are
you know what? I mean, he's opened up a can of worms, and the chat will deal with him. You know, this is what happens, isn't it? When you've got outrageous opinions, and I mean, people will call you out. It's part and parcel of having outrageous opinions. It's not about blunt or honest. We're all blunt. We're not all blunt. We all try to be honest, but blunt doesn't mean it's the right opinion. But I'm going to bring the first caller in of the night. Avinash is welcome. Avinash, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Grizz?
We're doing very, very well, my friend. I don't need to ask you who you support because you got a Liverpool jersey on, and now I remember speaking to you a few weeks ago. I think I can't remember what the topic was, but I remember speaking to you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I hope everything's good over there. I've been hearing a lot about the heat wave, so hopefully that settled down a bit.
It has. You're absolutely right. It has. The heat wave was amazing. Not for everyone though. I'm used to it. I'm from the subcontinent originally. Families from the subcontinent, Pakistan, exactly. So I'm pretty much used to it. But you know, it's different. It hits different in this country.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, what is it? Is it? I think it's because especially if you're living in the inner city regions, there's no circulation of air. There's buildings everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Very densely populated. So, but there was plenty of density and heavy population at the Leicester City ground today as well, mainly of Liverpool fans. Avinash, I'm assuming. I'm so stupid. Why am I assuming? But I think you may want to talk about the game today. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned that, you spoke to me a few weeks ago. I remember that show. That was my first call-in show. It was just before the final weekend of the Premier League season.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we all know what happened. And of course, I remember saying that, come what may, this is a team that deserves to be celebrated. This is a season that deserves to be celebrated. And irrespective of what happens in the next two games, you can be sad, you can be down for a bit, but then you can be rest assured that these players will come back with a vengeance and they'll try to win everything once again. And I guess we kind of started already. So anybody who watched that game would not have been in any doubt that this team means business, basically. And I'd actually echo what Bilal said. I totally see this as a trophy. It's such a big deal in Europe. I mean, Spain literally made a tournament out of it. Like they go to
exactly
the Middle East and it's like a 4-team tournament. And one of Barcelona's main reasons for finishing second was so that they could qualify for it last season. So it's a very big deal. So I don't know why in England they tend to look down upon it. For me, ever since I think it's about a couple of months ago that I realized that we're going to play Man City in the Community Shield, and it's one of the things that I look for. And for me, the season starts today. And anybody who saw that game will not say that was a friendly. It's Liverpool, it's Manchester City, it's Pep, it's Klopp. There are no friendlies when these players and these coaches are involved. The intensity was so high. It was almost like we picked up where we left off, in the clashes that we had last season. They were so intense, highest level, and that was pretty much it. And you could see what it meant to every one of those players out there. That wasn't no friendly for sure. So I'm absolutely thrilled. Like I said, for me, this is a trophy. It goes onto the champion's wall. Like, I mean, enough said, right? That's you don't need to say anything else. And as far as the game is concerned, what I saw was one team that was a little undercooked in Man City and still struggling a little bit to adapt to whatever new thing that Pep is trying out. And it's a bit like they've put all their eggs into the Haaland basket. The very fact that he started tells me that there's a lot riding on this new signing, because they've let a lot of their not key players, but players who are important in Sterling and Jesus go. So you could see that, they're going to have to adapt, and they're going to have to adapt quickly, because I don't think that was the City that we normally see out there today. They struggled to connect with Haaland a little bit, and he did have a couple of chances, of course. I'm just happy that it's not going to be our striker that's going to get clipped up. But anyway, that's for banter. So that was on the City side. As far as Liverpool is concerned, I saw a team that prioritized continuity over anything else. We are still really, really good. We saw some of the similar patterns that we have seen. We saw Mo Salah absolutely running the game, a goal, an assist. He was heavily involved in all 3 goals. We saw Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I think that should be called the Trent Alexander space now. The kind of space that he started operating in, sort of the half space, in the channel. And I think I want to see more of that from Trent, scoring goals. We know he's an assist machine, but he's capable of so much more. And the more he gets into those kind of spaces, I think the more he can contribute. We saw that. We saw the third goal again, Andy Robertson stretching the pitch. It is very similar to that goal that we scored in 2019, if you remember that game, the 2-1 at the Etihad, where, Robbo just heads it across and Bobby taps it in. So there was so much continuity, so much good about what we did. We started the game like a house on fire. Then we just controlled it. We let City have the ball. We defended. And then with Man City, you're going to have moments where you're just going to have to soak it in. You're going to have to suffer. You know that. Whether they're undercooked or not, they're just incredible. The players that they have, the way they connect, the way they pass, the way they hold the ball. We did that. I thought it was pretty much a complete performance. Like, they had a couple of sniffs at goal. And again, with Man City, you're always going to have that. But other than that, we really controlled them well. We had our own chances. We could have scored. Darwin came on, had a one-on-one, had a couple of other chances. Could have scored on another day, but I'm just happy that, I thought he showed up much better than Haaland did. Not just in terms of getting the chances and being in positions to score, but even in terms of just being a pest, stretching the defense. You could see that it's a completely different thing that City had to deal with. Bobby Firmino was dropping deep. Defenders are trying to follow him. And then, you're looking for the wide forwards to get in behind. And then now you have this physical specimen who's quick, who's willing to run the channels, who's always on the last line, who's stretching the defense. And he had a couple of good touches. I think he had with the first touch, he said Salah lose. Maybe that resulted in a chance or something. I don't remember. And there was a moment where he got in a bit of a tussle with Nathan Ake. That really encouraged me that it's more than just, sort of goals that he's going to bring. He's going to be a real handful. He's going to occupy centre backs and he's going to make it really, really hard. He's going to create space for Mo. He's going to create space for our midfielders to drop in. So, overall, it was extremely encouraging because at the end of the day, I think as much as I value the trophy, whether you value the trophy or not, this is kind of the curtain raiser to the season, and the performance is very, very important. And what I saw there told me that we are ready. We are ready to go absolutely all guns blazing this season. And I don't think
like the summary, Avinash. I can't say that is. You've summarized the game, the atmosphere, the mood, the relevance of the trophy, everything we really want. And there's nothing me and Bilal can add to that. Well, I can't. Bilal, I want you to actually add something to it from a neutral point of view, because Bilal is an Arsenal fan, Avinash, for his sins. But it's good to always have a neutral person's point of opinion and so how he sees it. And you spoke about Avinash, how you saw the tip. By the way, Blue Chip is in the building. Of course, my brother from another mother. He says 15K is the target, people. He's talking about not his bank balance, his 15K. 15K he reached when he was about 12. So don't worry about that. He's talking about my subscribers numbers, our subscribers numbers. So people get subscribing if you haven't already. If you have, I think it's subscriber mode only, actually. So you probably were subscribers. But share, like, do all that good stuff. It's been quite the journey so far. We keep it going. I just want to address the super chat before I get your opinion. It's our friend Selection.
Selection.
Big up Selection. I said a prayer. I asked for Klopp to remove Hendo from the 8 and put an actual creative player there. And I beg, give Tsimikas a run of games. Thank God your prayers didn't come true today, because Hendo had a wonderful game and Robertson assisted for the third goal. So, but keep praying. One day, hopefully, all our prayers come true, including yours as well. But today, I'm pretty glad that your prayers didn't come true. But we will get onto the Henderson debate, because one of my channel members, None of Your Business, has got a question. Should Hendo now be a backup? Question mark. Being a big fan of his and defender, but when big games require the finest margins, he struggles with the quick line techie passes. I don't think that's an outrageous shout. We will discuss that as well. Definitely None of Your Business. We will discuss that. Bilal, Avinash said some wonderful things. One of the things that intrigued me was the way he said that both teams started. He said one team seemed undercooked or not quite ready, whereas we looked far more ready for it. When I looked at the lineups, Bilal, I actually thought, hold on, that's my daughter screaming the house down. I hope you guys didn't hear that. When I looked at the lineups, I thought Man City, without doubt, were their strongest. And when you see two teams, and we were pretty much our strongest, obviously Alisson missing. But apart from that, pretty much at our strongest. What did you think when you saw the two lineups? This is serious stuff. When you saw the lineups, no one's taking anything for granted here. And then when you saw that sort of that first 20, 30 minutes, what did you make of the intensity? Because I'm pretty much of the agreement with Avinash.
Yeah, so two things. So when I first saw the lineup, straight away I'm looking at Man City's team and the front six, let's say including Rodri. It looks unbelievable on paper. You're thinking, okay, this team on paper, the way Pep's going to get them playing, they're going to control the ball, they're going to work it into the box, they're going to cut the ball back in, and Haaland is just going to start tapping in goals for fun. That's what you're thinking is going to happen on paper. But when you actually look a little bit deeper and you see the defense, for example, I'm looking at Aki in there. Diaz, obviously, gave away the handball, and he's a top defender. Walker, Cancelo. I'm looking at their fullback positions, and you look at their bench actually. And I looked at their bench, and I'm like, this is not the same Man City that we're used to in terms of the squad depth of quality that we're used to like experiencing as teams that are trying to chase Man City, especially Liverpool trying to chase Man City. You guys probably last season, probably at one stage, probably thought Man City were just going to win the league. You're thinking about their squad depth, you think about how far in front they were. So to look at that team of Man City, you're looking, okay, first 11 looks good. But then when the game comes out now and you're looking at, okay, I looked at Liverpool's team and the game you guys played against Man United in Thailand, for example, you guys were not really at the races at all, obviously. But the turnaround, and in terms of how long ago was that game? It must have been just 2-3 weeks ago at this point. It wasn't that long ago. The fitness levels of Liverpool. Yeah.
3 weeks for max, I think.
Yeah. So in that short amount of time, Liverpool's fitness has just come on leaps and bounds. And the one thing about Liverpool, which I feel like, especially as an Arsenal fan, Liverpool have been pumping Arsenal for a long time now. So then it's just the level of fitness and the physical ability that Liverpool have just feels on a different level. Even watching the game, you feel like you're suffocating sometimes watching Liverpool as the opposition. And I got that feeling from Man City straight away. Even when they were battling 50-50s, Liverpool just looked so much sharper, so much fitter. And I know Liverpool fans, and even me, I was thinking, okay, maybe Liverpool need another midfielder. Henderson now, that's come up again. Do Liverpool need another midfielder to come in there? But really what Liverpool need is someone, maybe, yes, to help Henderson or even Harvey Elliott maybe could do that job in terms of just bombing up and down and just creating a nuisance in that team. And when Trent is now going to become so key in that area, in that right-hand side of the pitch, I think Trent in that position there where he operated today, like he normally does, I feel like this year could even be more effective, because I feel like with Salah, that's another guy we need to talk about. Well, this guy's going to another level. He looks like he's taking this. Sometimes you give people the money, you give people the big contract, and they start slowing down. Salah today was ridiculous. Honestly, he looks literally different level to everyone else. I'm
glad as a neutral you see that as well, because obviously sometimes Liverpool fans can be accused of just biasness, red tinted glasses. And Avinash, everyone tells us, oh yeah, you lot guys big up Salah too much. He doesn't, really perform, all the time, and he's had a bad season. Maybe we've seen the best of Salah. Obviously, the last few months he wasn't great. We have to admit it. The last few months he was, in fact, poor, we can say. He just, something was up, and it's obvious what's up to me anyway. To me,
we saw what happened last season. It was crazy. The AFCON, the World Cup. Come on, man.
Bilal, to me, it was very obvious what's up without being an expert into it all. But as just a normal human, we accept and respect he's a human, and humans have emotions, and humans get tired physically as well and mentally. And this guy, we know Avinash is the cornerstone of our attack for the last 5 years, every game pretty much, and the emotions he's gone through. And then the emotions of the contract saga situation, and then the AFCON, and then the World Cup. So both for his nations, which he absolutely loves and adores. How many times have we heard him speak about his nation? And the disappointment of not qualifying, it takes his toll. He's not superhuman. He's a normal human. It took his toll. What we knew was he needed the contract to be resolved, a nice 1 month off. And I don't want to speak about it too early because it's just a preseason game and we haven't started the league. But Avinash, to me, the guy, as Bilal says, the guy looked so sharp today.
Oh, absolutely. I, in fact, tweeted this as soon as the contract situation got resolved. one of my first tweets was Salah with his contract situation, with his mind at ease, and with a mid-season break, the Premier League isn't ready for him this season. We saw it's over the last 2 seasons. I've seen a change in Salah's game in the last couple of seasons. I think a lot of people have, not just in terms of tactically, positionally, he's a little wider. He's doing even more for the team than he used to, probably defending a bit more as well. And he just seems ready. He seems ready to do whatever it takes to help the team win. There were a few accusations of him being selfish, and sometimes we could see it. I mean, I'm not holding that against him because, when you're at that level, when you score the amount of
I'm
goals,
struggling. I was just going to say, Avinash, I'm struggling to think of many top goal scorers that haven't been accused of being selfish at some point in their career. Help me, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. But the likes of Harry Kane, Ronaldo, talk about all your big goal scorers, Mbappe even, sometimes they're accused of being, selfish. I want my golden shooter to be selfish on the whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't have the confidence. Exactly. Yeah. You need the confidence to actually take on these shots. Even in the Champions League final, for example, Salah was Liverpool's best player. I know he didn't score Courtois. It was an unbelievable game. Liverpool weren't at their best, but Salah again stood out as definitely Liverpool's best player in that game as well. So I think Salah this season, the contracts, everything we're talking about, and just his physical condition. What is he, 30, 31 maybe soon?
30.
The guy, and 30. So another 3 years at least of this minimum he's going to give to Liverpool. And he could easily go down at what is maybe, I don't know, he wouldn't go down as Liverpool's maybe greatest player, but definitely maybe top 5, I would say.
I think many Liverpool fans, I think Avinash, Bilal says maybe top 5. I don't know what you think. I know it's always hard and it's always subjective.
Yeah. It's how far back do you go though?
Because you're comparing different eras and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. You're talking about different levels and different. But in my lifetime, certainly there's nothing like him. There's nothing like him, and I think I'm older than all you guys put together, possibly. But it's an interesting debate to have. I think if he adds, in my opinion, Avinash, I'm interested to get your opinion. If he adds another Champions League and a Premier League, I think he gets into the top 3 of all time. That's just my opinion. Top 3. I think he's been that stunning for the last 5 years. If he adds another Premier League and Champions League, for me, he gets into the top 3.
I would say just Premier League alone. I don't know what Avinash thinks. I would say literally if he wins another Premier League and he has 2, and I feel like if Liverpool can. I've predicted Man City to win the league, but the Man City and Liverpool are so close, only 1 point between them. You can't
call it. Look, no one's going to call you. No one's going to call you out, Bilal, for having that opinion.
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah. Today showed it. Today, when I saw their team, I thought this 11 is so strong. Like you see Rodri, Bernardo, Kevin De Bruyne behind Mahrez, Grealish, and Haaland, so strong. But it goes to show you, Avinash, how good we are as well, because we just didn't feel it. I didn't feel their strength today. I thought we sparred with them. We took some of their punches. We definitely gave them a couple of knockout blows, obviously in the end. And as you say, it wasn't a friendly.
No, not for me, not for anyone. Did you see Darwin's celebration? Oh my God, that was crazy.
It's a typical. To me, you know what, guys? It was a typical. And I don't want to generalize and sort of put every South American under there, but it was a typical South American passion, raw emotion and passion, and it was raw emotion and passion from someone that I think has had an eye on the media,
of course,
especially social media, and has seen what people have been talking about him and whatnot, and it's the best way to answer the critics. Avinash, did you notice anything different the way we played with him? Was you convinced the moment we signed him, or what was your doubts, and how are you feeling now?
I was convinced based off of the 2 games that I saw that he played against us. Of course, I've not been following the Portuguese league as much, but I thought he was, because before that, I remember you saying quite a few times that you're not his biggest fan, and I thought similarly based on whatever I'd seen.
Hold my hands up. I did. I said I am not his biggest fan in terms of I don't like strikers, that profile of striker. that doesn't mean, and I've said this again and again and again, that doesn't mean Jurgen Klopp doesn't see the utilization of that skill into his team, which he knows far more than me. So he's still not my type of striker. Do you get what I mean? I prefer the Bobby Firmino, the Benzema types, different types of striker, which is, I'm entitled to have that opinion. I don't have to love every type of player Liverpool own. I can respect and adore them as players and representatives of Liverpool, but I don't have to love their style. Like Henderson, for example, for me, Henderson is, people abuse him. I would never abuse him, but Henderson is limited in some of his skill set, in my humble opinion. But absolutely love and adore him when he plays for Liverpool. So, but sorry, Avinash, I had to defend myself because you're right. I did say that about.
Yeah, no, I had a similar opinion, I think. But then when I saw him play for Benfica, he was so much more than somebody who just, sat in the box and waited for a chance. He was so much more than a goal poacher. He was running. He was causing Konate all sorts of problems. Even Van Dijk, I mean, they were really struggling to deal with him. So I saw a very Klopp type forward already in him, in the sense that if you see all our forwards, none of them are like technically great, or precision and control aren't really their best attributes. Even if you look at the likes of Salah, Mane, Jota, they can all be a little clunky, a little awkward, but they are forces of nature. They are like physically, they are specimens. They are relentless. They press. They are always occupying defenders. You cannot have a moment's rest with them. And I saw similar attributes with Darwin. And I was like, yeah, this guy could really work for us. And yeah, on top of that, the things you mentioned, we don't really have a central presence who can do the same things. Probably the closest thing is Jota, but Jota is more somebody who is very slippery in the way he gets into those spaces and pockets, and it's hard to pick him up. But Darwin you can't miss him. He's right there. He's this big specimen. But
presence, yeah, absolutely.
Occupy centre backs. That is something we've not had. We've always had. Bobby does it in a different way, where he drags defenders all over the place. But this guy is the complete opposite. He goes in the opposite direction. But the effect is similar in that the centre backs have to take care of him. You cannot leave him. You cannot let him go. And then it opens up spaces in sort of the midfield. That's where I think some of the midfield evolution that we're trying to get into, the likes of Curtis, the likes of Elliott, the likes of Carvalho, who can fill those spaces. So we'll have to evolve. We'll have to, change our game a little bit to make sure that, because Klopp, I think, mentioned that we were always just trying to give the ball to him every time he made a run in the last preseason game. And it's not always the case. As soon as he makes a run, you just pass the ball to him. It means he's creating space for other people to fill that. And Trent is one of those, I think, who's going to benefit as well, because he's been taking up those kind of spaces a lot more. So expect to see a lot more of that. Expect to see a lot more of Elliott, Carvalho. So there is so much we can do with this guy. I am so excited. And obviously the presence in the box. He had a couple of headed opportunities as well today. So that's another thing that we're going to have. He probably should have done better with both those headers. I don't think the header which got the penalty was actually on target. But, he still did his job. Again, like he said, he did way more in that 30-minute cameo than Haaland did over 90 minutes. I don't think anybody can debate that. So,
was a neutral. Let's ask my co-host, the neutral. Look, we're not about childish banter on this channel. First and foremost, we're not about judging players after preseason friendly and whatever it was, or a Charity Shield, or comparisons. But from a footballing point of view, Bilal, and I've said it before, I think Haaland has enough. Pep and Haaland will have an equal of a job to fit in Haaland to that City side as Nunez will have into the Liverpool side. And I had a small theory that I think we will have it easier because Diaz and Salah are so used to playing with a big man alongside them. They've had their best moments of their career. Even Jota with Jimenez at Wolves, Diaz with, people are going to remind me, the Porto big guy that they had. Taremi. And we're talking about Salah with Dzeko. So I think we've got experience. And Carvalho, obviously, when he steps in with Mitrovic. I think the City system... I think the City system is so programmed in terms of domination and all about control in midfield. Did you guys notice that they didn't have that same control that they have? There's even us, we can't compete with the possession when they have possession because they play with 5 midfielders almost. and control the ball. Now they didn't have that control. I think this is going to take a bit of adjustment from, and I'm not writing them off. I'm just saying it's intriguing.
Yeah, Man City, what they've got to deal with now is that they've got a striker like Haaland who wants balls in behind. He wants to play a direct style of play. And today with Grealish and Mahrez on the out wide, Mahrez sometimes I feel like during preseason, I feel like he's eating too much food, to be honest. And he comes back a little bit heavy. So in a few months, we'll see the proper Mahrez again. But Mahrez and Grealish, what they do, they hold the ball, they come back, they want to link up with the midfielders. All this time, Haaland is trying to make runs in behind. No one's going to give him the ball. As soon as they took off Grealish and Mahrez, they brought on Foden and Alvarez. Now they start going more direct. All of a sudden, what's going on? They're in the box. They score a goal. Haaland seems to be more alive. And they need to find a way to play that more direct system. And that's why when Gabriel Jesus, for example, how many times has he scored against Liverpool? It's because he's a direct player. And that's why when Man City were successful against Liverpool in those close games where they win maybe 2-1 and you see Leroy Sané on the left and he scores the goal, it's because they're being more direct. When you play Liverpool, a little bit, you got to fight fire with fire. Yes, you can have your control, but you have to have a threat in behind. Today, if you don't have a threat in behind, if you have Grealish out on the left, okay, Trent, it's an easy day for him. He doesn't have to worry about Grealish running in behind him. He can just go and have fun, literally get a goal, play, do his little crosses. And now with Darwin Nunez going to Liverpool, and now this takes it to the Liverpool side of things, I feel like them back post crosses especially are going to be an absolute weapon, both from Trent with his right foot, Salah with his left foot. I think that's going to be a big weapon, and you even got the penalty from that today. So yeah, from both teams, they will have different adaptation periods, but Darwin Nunez is definitely going to be a lot shorter because of the way Liverpool play already. It suits having a striker, number 9. And that's why Man City this whole time, they've been playing with the false 9 to get the control of the game completely, 100% control, and then build from there. But with Haaland, they have to, I think we're going to end up seeing Haaland, Foden, Alvarez quite a bit, to be honest. I think it's going to end up becoming Foden on the left wing. And again, the 100 million spent on Grealish, question marks if that happens, Is Grealish going to have to move deeper in midfield? I don't think that was a plan. So we're going to have to see what Pep does. Either way, it's going to be a headache because if you go with that more direct approach, Grealish most likely is going to be a casualty of that. And is he better than De Bruyne in the left centre mid role? I would say no, obviously. And I think Foden, to be honest, is better than him out wide as well, like in the Man City system. So yeah, I think Pep either way has got a headache.
People, before we continue, we've got quite a few people in the studio now, so we're going to try to give everyone a few minutes. Avinash, it's been wonderful chatting to you as usual. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure as always. Was there anything else that you wanted to say? Of course, sorry. Is there anything else?
So I just wanted to say something on the point that you mentioned. If you noticed, I agree with Bilal that if you noticed, they were constantly chopping in, both Mahrez and Grealish. It was just easy days. I mean, they were just showing them in all the time because they know they're not going to go
absolutely.
That is something Sterling did extremely well, even against Villa on the final day. That's how he created the goal. You bring on a natural winger, and then he can go to the byline. Sterling, in fact, even when he's playing on the left, even though he can technically he's right-footed and plays as an inverted winger, he has that ability to just across a short distance, that acceleration, cut to the byline, and that was such a big weapon for City. Getting those cutbacks, and then you'd have somebody there, Gundogan or somebody. So yeah, I think that was I could have defended those to be honest, in those wide areas because all you had to do was see them in because that's all they were doing constantly, Mahrez and Grealish, because that's what they do. And to not have somebody in the middle either complementing that, maybe making those sort of they like to play those reverse passes as well after they cut in. So that wasn't there either. So Haaland is probably expecting a certain type of ball. So yeah, I think there's a lot of work for City to do there.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I think you've made a very good point, and especially in terms of how they kept tucking back in. And Haaland's not used to that. He's used to when wingers get a space, you whip that cross in. And our strikers, funny enough, sometimes we didn't have the strikers for the crosses that Robertson and Trent and even Henderson would aimlessly put in at sometimes. And maybe Klopp's tired of telling them, stop crossing it, and they don't listen to him. He thought, all right, let me just go and buy a 6'2" striker, and now we can solve that problem. But listen, Avinash, thank you very much. I'm going to try to give everyone a bit of time. Really appreciate you calling in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend day. Hope to chat to you soon, my friend.
You guys too. Have a good day.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care. William, who's a channel member, asks, was it a clear pen, Grizz? Bilal, did you watch the game?
Yeah.
Bilal,
at the time,
No. Okay, no, you go first because I think me and you are about to fight.
Yeah, no,
because you said at the time. At the time, what?
At the time, it's hit his hand. I know it's hit his hand, but you know the rules. I've seen them sometimes not given. You know what I mean? I feel like it's inconsistent, the rule, in terms of, okay, I know it's hit his hand. And if you look at it, if you go VAR for that, I think as a referee, 100% you have to give the penalty. Because you've gone to VAR, you keep watching the ball hit his hand 5, 10 times. Okay, you're going to give the penalty. But was his hand in an unnatural position?
Yes.
Could he really have done it? Darwin Nunez, his header, let's be honest. I don't think Diaz is expecting him to hit it that side. He's expecting him to probably hit it back the other side. I don't know.
Okay, I was shocked. No problem. You're honest, and I like your honesty, and I know you're not baiting. So people know in the chat that you're not that kind of person. So you're being honest, and fair enough. I was amazed that they took so long. I thought, what are they looking at? Like when he went to VAR, I was thinking, what's he looking at here? And I was also thinking, why hasn't the VAR referee already called it a pen? Why is he asking the referee to have a look at it? It was almost they're trying not to give this. That's a penalty, man. In any, it wasn't a shot that's coming. His hands are up, man, and it's going towards the goal. Okay, I get the point that we don't know if it was going towards the goal, but I think that's irrelevant. I think that's irrelevant. Someone tell me in the chat if there's a law that says that if the goal is going towards the goal.
That's just me adding it in. But because I'm saying his hand is it an unnatural position? Because his hand was like, I don't know, like this. Like he was facing this way. Like he can't jump with his hands. Or he wasn't even jumping. It's like, I don't know. The thing is, as I said, if you go VAR and you get told, listen, I think that's a penalty. I thought at the time though he was going to give it. I was surprised like he didn't give it. But when you watch it, you're thinking, okay, should you give Ruben Diaz the benefit of the doubt? But at the end of the day, you go watch it. Yeah, he keeps hitting his hand. So it depends. I feel like they just need to clarify the rules. To be honest, I think they need to make the handball rule a lot clearer and be like, listen, either it hits it. If it hits your hand, it's a penalty. End of story. And all this unnatural thing. Forget about it. I don't know how many penalties we'll have a game, but
when you got that penalty against Spurs, was you screaming penalty? Was it the penalty against Spurs in the North London derby? Was that for handball or was it for push?
I think that was we got a penalty against Man United. We got a penalty against Chelsea.
My point being, I reckon your opinion.
Listen, as a Liverpool fan, you're watching. Any team that gets that opportunity, you're saying it's a penalty. You're saying any team. It doesn't matter what team you're exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You see that happen, you're saying penalty 100%, and you got a strong case. But then that's why the VAR and maybe someone like me making a comment, was his hand in a unnatural position comes up, and then that becomes a bit of a point there with the VAR. But
fair enough.
Listen, as I said, if you're a referee and you get told to watch that, you're gonna have to give the penalty because you can't watch that video time and time again and be like, listen, it's not a penalty. So yeah, it was just at the beginning. At the time, I'm thinking, Ruben Diaz, is that harsh on him? But yeah, I can see why it was given. It hit his hand, and when you watch the video time and time again, you're gonna have to. That's why more often than not now, when you go VAR, you know it's a penalty. You know 100%. Like
you say, you're saying you can see why it was given. I would have been shocked, and I'm shocked that it took so long to be given. So I think we're not on the opposite spectrums, but I think we're a little bit in disagreement there. But that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Listen, another thing, people. Before we go anywhere, there's nearly 600 of you live and exclusive in here for a call-in show, which is mad support. Can I ask every single one of you just to take out 1 second and hit that like button? That's all it takes. Come on, just hit that like button. It's not a lot, please. Thank you very much. It'll be much appreciated. Helps the algorithms of the channel so it gets spread out and the love is shared and everyone else gets to participate and see the good stuff. So please just hit that like button and we're good to go. A couple of super chats before we let in the next caller. Jamie Keegan, of course. Big up Jamie Keegan. Much valued contributor of the channel. He says Salah on 120 Premier League goals. My God.
Is it already 5 years?
That's madness.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Needs 65 more to break Premier League top 5 all time.
Could you do that?
65 more? Are you mad?
If he stays here another 4 years?
2-season job for him, Bilal. Two-season job.
Premier League's going to get 30-something goals twice. We'll see.
Has he not done it already?
I mean, he's going to have to break his record. He's going to have to break his own record.
What's his record, people? Remind me.
It was 31 goals. I think it's 31. Don't quote me.
Okay,
He
people
broke
in the chat.
Ronaldo's record, didn't it?
Pimp in Distress, big up Pimp in Distress. He says, big up G, big up yourself. Feet on the ground, but as Drifty says, we now have a gunman. Big up Drifty as well, and the Coppish brothers. His aggression, no matter what, is refreshing and it'll be a threat against everyone. Smash the likes, people, for this great content. He's absolutely right in everything he says. And I've spoken about his 32. Well, there you go. And he's looking good. He's looking good. I'm not gonna lie. His aggression, Bilal. I described him a couple of when I saw him first, and when the comps came out, the day the comps came out, and I said to people, he's going to be a menace for opposition. This is what I meant by menace: his aggression, his passion, non-stop. He may not always seem to have the ball under control. I don't care, because sometimes those kind of players, you need them ones where you don't know how you scored or where you scored. You didn't have to have a perfect move. You know how Arsenal used to score the perfect goal, and sometimes you tear your heart out, tear your hair out, or your heart out sometimes as well. Like you think, annoying. We just want to score a ugly goal. This brother can score those ugly goals as well as the good goals. You need that kind of player, right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Like, I think I put a tweet. I'm looking at the date now. It says May 7th. And I was watching Benfica Porto, and Darwin Nunez had a goal disallowed by VAR. He brought the ball down beautifully and just tucked the ball in. And I was watching him just in that game alone. I'm saying this guy's going to become one of the deadliest strikers in Europe. Obviously, at that point, his reputation has already been built. I've seen him a few times already, and I've seen his work rate playing even on the left. He can play up front. He's just a nuisance. He's unpredictable, and his movement is crazy. Now that height as well. Like, you don't want to play against him. Listen, let me play against Firmino. I can kind of see what he's doing from far, and he can help. He'll give the ball to someone else maybe. But Darwin Nunez, if you're a centre back, man, already you're thinking, okay, even if I try pin this guy, he's just gonna end up going somewhere else because he's quick enough to do that. He's gonna find the space. He's gonna drag me here. And what's that kind of space creating for Salah? What's that kind of space creating for Diaz? And today Diaz as well. I remember he did some run today. I don't know if you remember, past Kyle Walker, and absolutely burned him. I'm thinking Nunez, Diaz, and Salah. These three, it could be just ridiculous. Electric, fluid, and with Nunez up front, I just think perfect sign. That's why I said he was going to bang. Every time I've come on here, I keep saying, listen, guys, forget about the comps, forget about people who maybe want Liverpool to have a flop signing. Ignore these guys, because he is 100% going to bang.
It's an insecurity, isn't it? But let's get the next caller in, because we've got quite a few now waiting, and we're bloody nearly 45 minutes in. The next caller in will be Assange. Assange, my friend, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Aha, Barcelona fan.
Here we go. Yes.
How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Enjoying life right now.
Good,
man.
Hey, congrats on the win. And
yeah, exactly. Trophy, small, large, significant, insignificant. It all helps from, as far as I think, it all helps with the morale and confidence building of a squad, especially when you've got a lot of youngsters in there that want more. It gives them the hunger to want more of this feeling. So yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's pre-season. The official season hasn't started. But what would you like to speak about, my friend?
You see, I want to talk about the Manchester United fans and some. You see, I'd heard that the Manchester United PR machine is very strong. You know, they'll be able to silence the whole fan base with a shiny signing every season. But I'd never known that they're this strong, that they would be able to convince the fans that a player that has rejected them in every way, shape, or form possible, and blame it on deferred salaries. Deferred salaries. You know, sometimes when I at first I thought it's just a Twitter banter, and I love that, you know. But at some point I realized, you know, I follow some of the Man U fans, like, you know, Saeed and some other ones, and I thought it's a banter, but at some point I realized it's like convinced that it's deferred salaries. You know, sometimes I feel like they think of a deferred salaries as some sort of chicken shop agreement. Oh, come back tomorrow, I'll pay you. No. We're talking about $17 million euros, and there is some sort of agreement between the club and the player that the salaries that were due during the COVID would be postponed and that they would be paid in the next 2 years. And it's not only Frankie de Jong that signed that. There's Piqué, there's Busquets, there's Alba, there's Sergio Roberto. There's so many other players that have done this. And I would say this as a Barca fan. I love Frankie de Jong. I love the fact that he chose Barca over PSG's money when he signed from Ajax. But I'll say this, if he wants to stay, he has to reduce his salary. It's very simple. If you play for Barcelona, you have to make sacrifices. When you come to Barcelona, the club has such a high value that when you come to Barca, you should never expect a salary that a PSG would pay you, a Man U would pay you, or an old Man City might have paid you. When you come to Barcelona, you open so many opportunities for yourself now and in the future that once you've signed, so many opportunities will open up for you that you'll be able to make up the money. But salary-wise, you can't have the cake and eat it too. It's basically Barca. When you come to Barca, you would get the respect of the entire world maybe, and you'd get into your national team easily and every other thing. And for once you retire, you'd be invited in so many different events that your salary would never, it would never end basically. So when it comes to players, right now they're talking about Frankie de Jong and like Barca not paying him and stuff. I would say this, if you play for Barcelona, you should always make sacrifices. And that should start the very first time that you sign the contract. You should never expect a salary that other clubs would pay you. And when you get there, and if some problems occur, you should be the first one to make sacrifices. And I don't expect Frankie de Jong to be the only one. I expect Busquets to be next. I expect Piqué to be next. I expect Ter Stegen's salary to be reduced, similar to how it's been done to Dembele, Sergio Roberto, and so many other players that have just signed with a lower salary than other teams were, proposing to them when, Chelsea went for, let's say, Rafinha or even Koundé or even Lewandowski when he was approached by Chelsea and PSG. So Barca, I would say this, I'll say this to Man U fans, it's very sad to see Manchester United begging a player this much. He has rejected you in every way, shape, or form. And this week, when Barca comes back to Barcelona tomorrow, so there's going to be another meeting. And if he rejects you and you still are in for him, I just don't know what Man United has become. It's very sad.
I'm one to absolutely join in when it comes to smashing Barcelona. Or Man United, I should say, sorry. So I understand, and I would love to join in with that. But what I would say, and what I would ask you your opinion on, and Bilal, you can obviously join in as well. But is it fair to say that it would be very unlikely that they would be pursuing him this long and for this much time and still in the mix if de Jong, via his agent or via himself, hasn't given some form of indication that he is actually interested? So what we're reading in the media is total rejection. He doesn't want to go. But the fact that they are still in for him, to me, guys, suggests that there has been some conversations behind the scenes where he's indicating, or he has indicated that he would, if the situation with the wages and whatever can be resolved, he would like to, he would join them. I don't know what you guys think.
Can I add to that?
Go for it.
You see, even if he leaves tomorrow, Barca is liable for paying the deferred salaries. There's no, it's an agreement right there, and you can't just run away from it. And Barca is desperate to sell him, just because in that case we can save activating the third lever, which is selling the 20 to 30% of the Barca studios and the 100 million that we need to get in order to register all the players. So Barca is desperate to sell, and if we really want the deferred salary was really the problem, we would have reduced it from the transfer fee and Manchester United would have paid it up front. What I would say is that his agent, Ali Duran, this guy, in the past, in the beginning of last season, he had offered Frankie de Jong to several teams. And at that point, Frankie de Jong was furious and he wanted to fire him. Now, granted, they have been, he's been his agent since the beginning and he's gotten him the Ajax deal and after that, the Barcelona deal. So they probably are close, but he was furious at least from what I read in the news, during the season, was that Ali Duran had offered him to several different clubs. And he seems like an agent that is very close to Man United, the same way that Jurab Gian was very close to Arsenal, the same way is that Mendes is close to Barcelona. So, and he's gotten them a lot of players, like the left back that they recently got him is the same agent, Ali Duran. So, and Van de Beek is also Ali Duran. So there might have been some hints from the agent, but the player side, I think it's very clear.
Bilal, obviously, if you want to add whatever Assange has said, but in a nutshell, do you think he ends up at Man United after all this?
After all of this, I'll be honest, right now, I would say he doesn't end up at Man United, to be honest. I'm looking at the situation from two sides now. Laporta's come out today, I believe, in an interview with CBS, and he's saying we're not going to force Frankie to actually cut his salary. No, to leave the club, but we need him to like cut his salary and all of that sort of stuff. But it comes down to Barcelona's point. Are they desperate to sell him? Do they feel like they have to sell him because of everything that they've done in the market? Because Frankie de Jong, he strikes me as someone who, he's idealistic. He's not really thinking about the money. He's thinking about where he wants to play. And I remember a quote from him when he was at Ajax, and he's talking about he had in his head that he was going to do the Mark Overmars route. He would join Arsenal from Ajax, and then after he's done with Arsenal, he will join Barcelona. So obviously, he skipped the Arsenal side, and he went straight to Barcelona, his dream club, the club he loves. So he feels he wants to fight for his place at Barcelona. But with Xavi now, he's playing him centre back. I'm watching preseason. He's playing him centre back. It's like he's doing things where it's like, okay, you're not important for me in midfield. And Ten Hag, the one thing I will give him, even if he feels okay, maybe Frankie's not 100% wanting to join us, but he wants him 100%. He's his plan A, his plan B, his plan C. He's willing to forget about every other midfield target just to get Frankie. And maybe that could turn his head. I don't know. But with the way the situation's going, and with the way Barcelona are moving financially, I feel, and the way Laporta is as a director, I feel like he will end up somehow staying at Barcelona. Everyone will be happy in the end. Frankie will get what he wants. Xavi will get what he wants, and Barcelona at the end of the day will get what they want as well. So long story short, I don't see him joining Man United purely because Frankie himself prioritizes Barcelona over everything else, and I think money is secondary to that.
Can I go
for it, Assange? No, go for it, Assange. We're gonna keep it moving because we've got so many people waiting to come.
I just wanted to add one thing. So he's 25. This is his last big contract before he gets into the 30s, and he has to go for a 1 or 2 year contract. And joining Manchester United at this point is like joining Arsenal 2 years ago. And I like Arsenal, but it's just the project is not there. I rate Ten Hag, but the project is not there. So he's very, as he said, he's a very idealistic person. He's not in for the money and anything like that. So I feel like if there is any club that would convince him to join, it would be Bayern Munich and Man City and not Manchester United at this point.
Yeah.
And if worse comes to shove for Barcelona in terms of the salary and registering the players, we would sell 20% of Barca studios, and that would get us the 100 million that we would need to.
My God, at this rate, you're going to be selling off everything to do with Barcelona.
Long term, we don't know the damage of this, honestly, for Barca in terms of the long term.
The damage, yes. I was going to talk about the damage. We've sold 25% of La Liga TV rights at this point, which means for the next 25 years, we're going to lose 20 to 30 million each year in our transfer budget, basically. But the difference is that when I call this a very safe gamble, just because once you get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, you get all the TV rights, and that would solve it right away. And Barca is such a huge club that these 20, 30 million euros would really not affect you, whereas it really affected the other teams that had signed the CVC, which was the deal that La Liga had.
The comments. This comments. Look, it all started from Sam. It says Barca using Klarna to buy players is 500 IQ.
But
what is going on, man? Barcelona.
It would affect us in the future, but it's not a big effect as much as if we had gone out of the group stage this time again, it would affect the image so badly, and it would turn us into the next AC Milan. That the recovery like this would have definitely been a sensible choice.
Let's see, man. Let's see. I'm not convinced with Barcelona's business or operation, how they're doing it. But what do I know? I'm just speaking from what I'm seeing. So until the season actually starts, and we see the players play and how they compete and how they perform, and then we have more insight into the behind the scenes and how they're looking to recoup this money or become self-sustainable again, which they won't for a long time yet. we can't judge. We can have an opinion, like we all have, and we share. But let's see how it goes. Assange, it's been wonderful speaking to you, my brother.
Thanks
Take
a
care
lot.
of yourself. No
Thanks.
problem.
Have a good one, guys. See ya.
You too, man. Take care.
If people didn't notice, I just slipped in some random homeless brother from the street.
Homeless?
He just like
I don't
woke
know
up.
that.
Like didn't comb his hair, didn't do nothing. You're coming
Well,
onto a
it's good
live.
today.
You're coming into a live show. People saying, "Who's this brother that just woke up in the corner?" You know what I mean, like after a long night out, people. If you haven't recognized already, the leader of the Young Bucks is in the building, Mr. Omar himself. How are you, sir? Did you watch the
good.
game, by the way?
Yeah, I did watch the game.
We don't know if you watch games these days or
Yeah,
what.
no. My interest is back. My interest is back in Liverpool Football Club, and thank you to Darwin Nunez for being the X factor that I needed in my life. Because, mate, like I didn't watch the Salzburg game because I was busy. But coming back
We
to
ain't
this
played
game,
Salzburg yet, but I know. Oh no, sorry, Salzburg. Sorry, I
when
think it's
we, yeah, when we played,
Okay.
when we played Salzburg. But yeah, this game was great. Like it was like watching Liverpool of last season. That it reminded me of the FA Cup semi-final against City last year and the way we played, and it just brought back all those like great feelings that I had for the club in that sort of run-in, in that sort of like quadruple talk. So yeah, and then man, it's icing on the cake. Nunez's cameo, I thought he was amazing. So yeah, it's happy days, man. I'm excited now. I'm excited for the season.
Good. John Stewart sends in a super chat. Thank you very much. He says, big up Grizz in the panel. Diaz has everything to be a top player, but he's lacking something with the final pass shot, in my opinion. Do you agree? I do agree, John. But let's see what Bilal and Omar think of Luis Diaz. I'll come to Bilal first, as an Arsenal fan looking outside on the inside. Outside on the inside, you know what I mean? Looking from the outside
in.
Outside in. Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing. What are you saying? Luis Diaz, talk to me.
He is an unbelievable player, honestly. One-on-one looks unstoppable. His pace is ridiculous. But he's starting to get the same criticism that I'm seeing that, I'm seeing Martinelli get this a lot from Arsenal fans as well now. It's the last pass. It's a shot. Are you going to actually convert everything that you're doing, which is fantastic? Is it actually going to result in a goal? And I feel like with everything that these players are doing, the amount of output that they put, it will all come together in the end. Even today, for example, I'm seeing Martinelli put in a beautiful ball to Gabriel Jesus. And that's something maybe he hasn't done as much as he should have been doing in the past. And hopefully that will continue for him this season. And I just think the same thing will happen with Diaz. He's on a different level to a young, Gabriel Martinelli. He is somebody he's pretty much led the Porto side. How many games did he play last season? I think it was over 70 games.
Yeah,
so
you
got to take that into consideration as well. Like the guy's played so many minutes. Maybe he just needs a bit more acclimatization. But everything we're seeing is positive. You can't really say he's doing anything wrong per se. And as I said, with Nunez and with Salah now, that's just electric. And having going from Mane to Nunez and Diaz, come on. I don't think there's much of a drop as maybe some people are hoping for or expect even. So yeah, I think Diaz is quality, but he just needs a bit more refinement in front of goal, and that's just going to come with a bit more time and a bit more patience, I think, from people. The numbers will come. Salah, I think it's because of Salah and Mane, of course, they put up these 20 plus goal seasons year after year, but Diaz needs a bit of, and that's the thing, you've got new players coming into the team, they've not been there that long, but already you're seeing such positive signs from them, while you're looking at people like Man City, let's say, for example, with Grealish, and how long has he been there now? Is he showing that he's going to really kick on? Diaz, I can say he's showing me that 99.9% he will kick on and end up being as important as a Mohamed Salah potentially, but on the left side. So, yeah, I think that's the level of his talent. The level of his talent is someone who can lead a team and be that face of him. Obviously, while Salah's there, it's not going to happen, let's be honest. But he will be that very close to him, and being that guy who can carry the ball and even put the pressure off Salah. Salah, you don't need to do everything. You don't need to, hold the ball off and fight people off and get Trent into the game all the time, because Diaz, 25% of the time as well. Or 50% of the time, he's doing it from the left side as well. So I think these two things will work in conjunction. And I feel like Diaz, for me, the final product will come. And I just think it's just a bit more patience, people. If you're a Liverpool fan, just a bit more patience. It will definitely come. He's showing so many good signs. Today, what he did to Kyle Walker, for example, in just that one moment that I just keep thinking about, the way he just took him out. And I'm thinking, you're doing that to Walker. What are you going to do to every other right back in the Premier League? So, yeah, Diaz for me, fantastic.
Big call from there, Omar. Very quickly on Luis Diaz, because we're going to start getting the other callers.
I think, I know there's criticisms of him because people want him to like come in and produce the numbers Salah and Mane produced, but he's not that sort of player. If we look back, I'd say he's more akin to the early Mane, the guy that used to come out wide and sort of be the creative player in the front three. The guy, because we've got two. If we go with Nunez and Salah in that front line, then fair enough. If Firmino's there, the responsibility on scoring might be more on Diaz. But when Nunez is in there, when Salah's in there, they're the goal scorers. Diaz is a guy. He's the flair. He's the creativity in that front three that offers something different. So, like, he'll be fine. Like, his work rate is immense. By the way, the amount, like, he's everywhere. He's got that dog in him, like Suarez had, like that South American just hunger that most South American players have. So it will come. I don't expect him to hit the same numbers as Salah, but he contributes to the game. And like Bilal was saying, the way he just glided past Kyle Walker, one of the quickest players in world football. See how he left Rodri for dead today. So yeah, out of all I've seen in pre-season, this was the most promising. Maybe he's not close enough to the goal, which is like, that's fine. Like you want Nunez close to the goal, fine. But I'm happy with Nunez doing his thing on that left-hand side, and he'll run riot. He'll get a decent amount of goals. Don't expect him to hit 20 in the league, 20 assists, whatever. But as long as he plays his part, as long as he continues what he was doing, he'll be a very important player for us.
William, channel member, says, Grizz, have you heard anything on the Jota status injury date? I haven't, man. I haven't heard anything. They're keeping their cards close to the chest with regards to that one. But I did tweet. It was very encouraging, at least, to see him with the squad in his training gear. That's usually a positive sign, as opposed to being in his normal clothes or, not with the squad. So I'm hoping it's nothing too serious. And Diogo Jota, really sad that he's out. Of course, upsetting that obviously Calvin Ramsey, Ox, and Alisson have missed chunks of pre-season, but Diogo Jota is the big one for me, because I really think he would have helped. We're speaking about the Mane output that's going to be missed. I don't expect Luis Diaz to get Mane numbers, but in conjunction with Nunez and Jota, wow, we would have smashed Mane numbers. And that's where I miss Jota, really. I'm really going to miss Jota. But hopefully it's nothing too long term, and we can get him going. Going to get the next caller in. It's Narit. There we go. Narit, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the stream.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes, my friend.
Man.
I'm blessed. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well. I can speak for myself. The other two can speak for themselves.
Yeah, I'm doing good as well, man.
I echo Grizz's words. I am well.
So it's 5 a.m. here in Bangkok, and I got back home an hour ago from my friend's place. We were watching the game, and as soon as I got back and I saw Grizz was going live, I was like, I need to be on, man. I need to get on ASAP because I'm still buzzing. I don't care if it's just the Community Shield, the Charity Shield, a friendly game. It's never friendly against, the slot in blue. So obviously I'm here to talk about the game, and I don't know where to start, but I just want to defend our captain for a minute because I just can't believe the amount of people that I've been seeing on, Twitter's probably the worst platform for it, right? But
100%, 100%.
Even from my friends here, like that Henderson, like I'm not saying he needs to start week in, week out. I still agree we do need in a new midfielder, but the thing is, whenever someone doesn't play on the right side, Trent, Hendo, or Mo, we can tell like there's no chemistry there. So today Henderson was immense. Like he was absolutely immense today, Jordan Henderson. And yeah, like this guy, without him, I feel like obviously he's not like a Kevin De Bruyne or like how City played Rodri and then there's Bernardo Silva and KDB. I know for us it's not really like that because our midfielders, they're more robust and it's all about running for them, right? So like we've seen in Gini Wijnaldum as well, and that's why we miss him now. But Henderson, I think I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I do agree that to an extent that like his legs are gone, but that's only if we run him to the ground again.
Mm-hmm.
But like he is still crucial to this squad. Like how can people say the opposite? Like I'll never understand that. I still think he's a really important player for us this coming season, and let's say the season after this, then maybe he can become like the next James Milner, But yeah, I think Henderson was immense. Nunez, obviously, it's great to see him coming on and winning the penalty and obviously securing the win. And I just love the celebration. I removed my shirt as well as soon as he took his off. My shirt was off too, but yeah, I'm actually buzzing. I'm not gonna go overboard because I still have my doubts over him. I don't really rate the Portuguese league like that, but as I think you guys mentioned it, that he is gonna bang. I think Omar just mentioned before I came on that he will bang goals. That's for sure. But where was the Norwegian man up top today? That's all I'm gonna say.
Omar, I'm gonna let you take most of these points. If you was listening, hopefully you wasn't, so I can kick you off as soon as you get something wrong. But hopefully you was listening to most of the majority of the points. But Narit, obviously, he started off obviously excited and happy about the win, and I agree with him. It's always good to see your team win, especially against Man City. Like that's the way it goes, right? These days, like when you're up against your fiercest rivals, they're your fiercest rivals, yeah, for a reason, and so therefore you do not lose to them, regardless of what kind of tournament it is, whatever. But I wanted to get your opinion on the Henderson debate. It's a bit of a boring one, in my opinion, but get your opinion on it.
Yeah, first of all, chat, like, big up Narit for watching the Reds at like 5 a.m. because, like, smash the like button for that because there's so many fans around the world that stay up at stupid hours just to watch our team. Like Bilal, Grizz, myself, watching our teams, we watch them in like perfect times throughout the day. Mm-hmm. So big up Narit for that.
Thank you.
So you made 2 points. The first
the game ended. The game ended at 1 a.m. by the way, but yeah, I just got back at 4. But
still, it's really late. First point is about Henderson, and I completely agree. I think it's so overblown. I think any sort of mistake he makes, I remember he overhit a cross or whatever. He was trying something, yeah, blown completely out of the water. You go onto your timeline straight away. Oh, Henderson. Oh, his legs are gone. What's he doing? Fine, that's absolutely fine.
I'm just posting the differing opinions, even in the chat, because it's all about different opinions. Sorry, Mom. Sorry.
No. It's but like be consistent. Like, fine. No player is perfect. Henderson's made mistakes on that pitch today, but I saw Thiago, who I absolutely thought had a storming game. He made a few misplaced passes, but look, it's just an agenda at this rate. People like in sports, you always have players that are scapegoated, and Henderson's been scapegoated. I don't know if it's because next to him, you've got Fabinho, arguably the best CDM in the world, and you've got Thiago, like one of, if not the top 1, 2, 3 midfielder in the league right now. So the standards are high in our midfield, and there is that spot that Henderson has, which he seems to just be edging Naby Keita, Harvey Elliott to at the moment. But off the ball, he's an absolute monster still. He might not be able to keep it up for 90 minutes, but for the 60 minutes he was on, he was...
There you go. Red side agrees with you.
Yeah. And we have 5 subs now. And for 60 minutes, he was immense, running everywhere. The press was perfect. That first half, especially the first 30 minutes, we were all over them. That midfield, the grit. It reminded me of when we had the Brexit midfield in 17-18, right? City had a lot of the ball, but the work rate was immense. I think, yes, we do. We all, Liverpool fans, we want Jude Bellingham. Let's not sugarcoat it. We want Jude Bellingham. Mm-hmm. We want him to be the future on that right side of midfield. We want someone to do what Kevin De Bruyne does for Man City. We all want that, absolutely. But the amount Jordan Henderson gives, the intangibles, the leadership, Jordan Henderson in a Liverpool team makes that team better, in my opinion. I think he's not going to start every game. Naby Keita proved that he can step up in that role and be an absolute force in midfield. And I thought it was immense against City in the semi-final last year, Villarreal. So it's not like Henderson's a dead cert. But let's not act like he's our 5th, 6th, 7th best choice midfielder. He's in that top 4 for me still. And what he gives to this team is so invaluable. Second point about, I think it was Haaland. Look, guys, I'm going to say this now. I know I'm a Liverpool fan, and it's great seeing Haaland miss from 5 yards, hit the bar, whatever, put the ball into orbit, whatever. But I'm not going to lie, I saw enough in that game to say Haaland's going to bang goals this season. Haaland and Nunez are going to bang a lot of goals this season. And I just think with the amount of chances he gets, yeah, he has the odd moment which looks unorthodox, but the positions he gets himself in, the people that are feeding him, he's not going to be playing a defence like Liverpool's, who the high line was absolutely perfect. Like, it bamboozled Haaland today. He was like, there was one moment in the second half where he was standing 5 yards beyond the line and he didn't know whether to jump back in or what the Liverpool defence was going to do. So it was perfect. That, for me, we've got the best defence in the league. So yeah, he missed sitters, but all the top strikers miss sitters, and I'm sure he'll I'd love, as a Liverpool fan, for him not to bang in the goals, but the way I'm looking at it right now, the likes of him and Nunez, there is absolutely no way these guys don't hit close to 20 goals in the league.
Bilal, again, I love having an outsider opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You've given your opinion on various players, Nunez, Diaz. Talk to us how you see Jordan Henderson from the outside looking in.
For me, I see Jordan Henderson, I simply think, okay, he's a very good player, and definitely in that Liverpool team under Jurgen Klopp, he's a leader. And without him, for all these years, Trent wouldn't have probably developed into the kind of player that he's developed into, because the security that Henderson offers him, and even Henderson pulling him back sometimes and even maneuvering him physically, I've seen sometimes on the pitch, has helped him develop as a player. And I think what Henderson is, in terms of a football brain, is top. His football brain is top. Maybe his ability isn't, it's not Fabinho, it's not Thiago, but everyone knows that. It's not a secret. Obviously, when he plays even now for England and stuff, you're not going to, and that's in most players, to be honest, it's not just Henderson, you're not going to expect him to give out the same performances in the same level as he does for Liverpool. But Henderson Liverpool, if you're talking about Liverpool Henderson or Henderson Liverpool, whatever way you want to put it in, he's been immense. And for this season, yes, I agree. Maybe you don't rely on him all season, and you probably can't anyway. But I think with Keita and Harvey Elliott and Chamberlain still about, I don't know if is he injured right now? I have no idea. But
he's out. He's out for a few months.
I'm just guessing. Chamberlain, unfortunately, it's his career in it. But Henderson, for me, is a player where he's been so pivotal to Liverpool, and he's been so important in that midfield, and just being that leader on that right hand side, keeping the balance. Salah scoring all these goals and Trent being so effective. A lot of it, yes, it is down to Henderson. It's not like he's not doing anything on the pitch. And for me, I just think, okay, you can go and sign a Jude Bellingham, but how old is Jude Bellingham? Is he even really? Let's be honest. How many of us do we really think Jude Bellingham's 100% ready to come into Liverpool at this high level, this high pressure at his age, and just kick Henderson out the team? I think that's unrealistic as well. But
just very sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I was just gonna say, Henderson, give him that squad role, but he is still going to be a very important player for you. If you can get 70, 75 minutes out of him week in, week out, that's better than most players, especially somebody who understands the system and is a leader like Henderson.
Yeah, I think you pretty much nail it. Look, I've spoken too much on Henderson. I can't be bothered. I'm boring. But Captain Sal says work rate should be there for every player. It's not a special thing. I'm telling you now, coaches will disagree with you, even though it should be there for every player. But I tell you what, work rate is a special thing. And us coaches, the experienced coaches, when they talk about work rate, and certain players excel in their work rate, it's a talent. Sorry, go on, Yelms.
Can I just say something? If you're a footballer, the thing you're doing most on that pitch is running.
Mm-hmm.
You run probably for, I'd say, I mean, if you're a midfielder at a team like Liverpool, Man City, you get onto the ball a bit more often, but you probably have the ball at your feet for no more than 10 minutes. So the other 80 minutes, what are you doing? You're running. So work rate is so important, and the best teams in world football are the teams that run the most. Liverpool, Man City, the numbers, the standards of running are immense. So work rate, even though it's not football, you're not playing with the ball, it's a very valuable thing, and it's an invisible trait.
It's so important. Yeah, no, just continue. Yeah,
like, I understand, like, people want to see players move with the ball and be silky and whatever and have flair, but look, Adel Taarabt, Hatem Ben Arfa, some of the most talented players the Premier League's ever seen. What they're doing now, they can never hack it at the top level because they're all innately just lazy people off the ball. So
it's not a given. Work rate, hard work, it's not a given. I know a lot of people think it should be a given, but there should be a lot of things that should be givens. Narit, is there anything else that you wanted to speak about, my friend, while we have you?
Yeah, one last thing. I'm actually concerned about our depth in attack because today, before I think Nunez scored, I think he went down, and then that's when I thought, like, I just hope he did not just twist his ankle like right there and then when it happened. I was like, please, like, this can be, 1 week before the season begins, Jota is already down. If we go into the season with Firmino, Salah, and Diaz, where's our backup? Like, I know Carvalho is gonna play on the left sometimes, but because the fact that we lost Divock Origi, Sadio Mane, and Takumi Minamino, like, I just don't get why. Like, I don't think we've been speaking about this enough. The fact that, yeah, of course we need another midfielder. And just to be clear to the comments, like, I'm not saying Henderson is gonna start week in, week out for me. For me, I would play Harvey on the right side. But
don't worry about the comments. Never read the comments. Speak your opinion. Let me talk to you from a point of experience. Don't worry about what people say, because that will dilute your opinion and that defies the objective. This is a fan call-in show. This is my channel. You come in and you speak your mind. Don't care what people think or what they say. You speak what you think. People disagree with me loads. They hate me for my opinions. Some absolutely rattle me day and night. My DMs, my messages, my God. I've blocked over 2,000 people on social media. It's not a problem. People are here to hate you, love you, speak about you. So don't worry about what people are saying. You say what you want, what you think, and then that's it. And then you try to give logic to your and rationale to your argument or debate, and we keep it moving. No, there's no right and wrong answers, but there are shit answers. Let me just warn you.
And that's what we love about football. But all I'm saying is our captain will be an important member for our squad this season. But it was just about the game today in particular that I thought he was good. But yeah, in attack, we lost Divock Origi and Minamino, who literally won us the 2 domestic cups. So I know we want a backup for Mo Salah, but, like, I just want to share my concerns, because what if, like, God forbid, like, another attacker goes down, right?
So let me ask you, I get where you're going with this. So what if Haaland pulled up his hamstring in that 20 minutes? What happens to Man City?
But
what?
I mean, City.
Answer my question.
I think I think Alvarez will come in as swap right away for them.
Right, and then so how does that improve them and make them invincible, like you're saying? Like, what's Alvarez got on Diaz, Bobby, or Salah? How many injuries? My point being is, how many injuries do you want to cater for? So we've got 5 world-class attackers. Let's say Harry Kane gets injured for Spurs tomorrow. What happens?
Exactly.
Do you want to just keep buying players just in case they get injured?
No, I completely hear you, but I don't want to like talk about the teams below us. So it's just City as our opponent that we're gonna.
So you think
compete
Man
for the
City would
league.
be comfortable with Haaland and Alvarez, their main striker?
No,
They've just
because
got rid of Sterling and they've got rid of
and
Jesus.
Jesus, yep.
So
they proved it that they can win the league without a striker, though. I know that's with Jesus and
So have
Sterling.
But so have we.
We did it when Firmino was leading the front line.
We've won the Champions League without a striker.
Well, what if I just play devil's advocate and ask you guys back? What if Bobby goes down and we're
How many do you want to go down?
Jota's down right now.
Everyone's dead.
What
happens?
I just want another attacker. That's it. Just another attacker.
No, that's like look. I could give so many naughty examples, but I'm not. Sorry, go on, guys. I was going to
because
naughty
what
example.
if, for example, we're playing away at Nottingham Forest, and then Plan A doesn't work. Bobby comes on, doesn't change the game, and we like before we had a Divock Origi, we can throw in Divock Origi.
What proof is there another attacker that you buy is going to change the game?
Exactly.
What evidence have you got? What evidence have you got if Carvalho doesn't come on and change the game?
There's a lot of if, buts, and maybes here.
No, it's not even if, buts, and maybes. He's saying, what if everyone dies? Can we quickly reproduce quickly enough? Like to keep the population of the world going? He's looking at exterminating the world.
Yeah.
Right?
I just feel like it's better not knowing. Like I know if you bring in someone and it doesn't work out, but it's better than not to bring in at all and not give it a try. You know what I mean? But I mean, you guys are making me feel better, though. Honestly, now I feel better. I'm just panicking a bit.
Narit, we've just brought in your last 3 windows: Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunez, Fabio Carvalho, all under 25 years old. How many more? Honest question: how many more do you want? That's on top of Bobby and Mohamed Salah, 2 legends of the club. Already there. That's giving you 6 attackers now. How many more do you want, just in case they die?
For me, this comment here, I think people are scarred a bit by the season where we lost all our centre backs. I think it's natural to have that sort of anxiety. You think,
no, I get it. I'm joking with him. Narit knows I'm joking with him.
Yeah, but like it's understandable. But Narit, you need to understand.
Obviously, Harvey can play in the front 3 as well. Like,
in the Premier League, there is no squad that has more depth than us. There is no squad. Man City fans are so scared about their depth this season. Did you see their bench? Liverpool today were missing 5.
Narit, did you see their bench today? Narit, did you see Man City's bench?
I didn't see their bench.
While we're talking,
I'll find it. I'll read it up.
No. Let's put it up. I'm gonna hold on.
I'm sure there's like
I'll send it.
Palmer, Liam Dillap, maybe or.
So you're talking about our rivals, right? You said you're only worried. You're not worried about Spurs and everyone else who could come up. So I don't know why you disregard. Yeah. But so you're disregarding them, right? But you're still panicking at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a conflict of rationale here. Like you're saying, no, I'm not worried about the Harry Kane getting injured. I'm not worried about.
I think it's more about like if you actually want to go for the quadruple. I feel like with the depth we had in attack.
Let's not go there.
No, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm just saying that if I want to win the Carabao or FA Cup again, like how we did last season, and add in a major.
Every team that has ever won a double, a treble, whatever, quadruples, they've had luck, and that luck comes from having a fit squad, right?
I mean, it can be a quadruple, actually, my bad, because we won one today.
It could be a synctuple, whatever, right? But you need luck, yeah. If we get a couple injuries to our front line, harsh luck. That's the reality of it. We can't do anything about that, yeah. Man City equally, the odds of us getting 2 injuries to Salah and Nunez is the same as the odds of them getting 2 injuries to Foden and Haaland.
In fact, the odds are in our favor because Haaland is prone to injuries. So they feel just as you know.
If you guys don't mind,
I sent you the graphic. If you want to put it.
Can I ask you guys one last thing? I don't want to keep the callers waiting, but so let's say if I want to win, I really desperately want the domestic cups again, and plus a major trophy for this upcoming season. What would your front line be in those cups, in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup? Your front 3.
We're gonna go, but Bilal, I don't know what to do with this. I'm shit.
Do you want me to just Grizz? You just want me to screen share it?
Yeah, just screen share their lineup and stuff. Sorry, Bilal.
I just realized I
sorry.
could. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I was
yeah.
gonna say? What happened to that kid? What's his name? Clyde Gordon.
Gordon. Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah.
He's when he played against Arsenal.
He's dead. He's dead.
He's dead as well.
Narit killed him. He's dead as well.
No, I would play him in the domestic cup games. Yeah, I would definitely play him.
But look, Narit, I see what you mean, and I think it's what to do. It's PTSD like from years back, not years, but a few years ago when he got injured. Look, every club, every squad, every coach, every organization doesn't go into whatever venture, whatever season, whatever line of work they do is. So, for example, I had my own businesses, right? So I had my fast food outlets. Now I wasn't a massive McDonald's type chain, right? I was a small chain. So I've got a staff force of about 7. Right? Let's say I've got 7 people on my 8 employees, right? I can't start saying, right, let me get another 8 part-time just in case 5 of them fall ill on one day. Yeah. Like there's only so much I can do in whatever business I am in line of work I'm in. Now, Liverpool think 6, and if you count Cade Gordon, 7 attackers into 3 goals. Like you're saying who's going to start. So let's say Salah, Bobby, and Diaz are the starters, right? Like they were the starters today. Then 4 of the other 3 would be my cup starters.
But will they be able to produce like Divock and Taki?
Sorry.
So why not? What evidence?
I don't think.
Okay, so Jota has scored 20. Jota
Jota is 35. Yeah, 100%. Jota.
So who else does that leave?
Carvalho. Did we say
Carvalho was the player of the season in the thing. If we bought him for 40 million, you'd be very excited. I know if we bought him for Dortmund for 40 million, because you know why you'd be excited. I tell you why. Because you're excited about Alvarez for City. Fact.
Yeah.
Fact. Yeah. That's the answer you gave me. Yeah, you said Alvarez would be going in for there, and you was comfortable with Alvarez, but you're not comfortable with Jota and Carvalho.
No, Jota, and probably Gordon, yeah.
Not even Gordon, what have you put up? What did you just put up there?
It's the Man City squad.
So this is their lineup, right? So you're saying, Narit, that you're very cool with them having Palmer and Alvarez as their strikers if they get a couple of injuries. You'd be shit scared as a Liverpool fan. Would you be shit scared?
No.
I mean, I get what you mean. I get you what you mean. I want 4 options in every position. It's human nature to want. I want the equivalent of contributors like Bilal and Omar. I want 3 of Bilals and 3 of Omars. I want calling people like you. Yeah, fuck you, man. I want callers like as loyal and dedicated as you, Narit. You're a top red Liverpool supporter staying up. Liverpool, we want so much in every walk of life, but realistically, we can't have that attitude in life. Just in case, these 3, and then we want 3 to replace them, and then just in case the 3, I get it because of the one season we had in how many years where we lost our centre backs.
Yeah,
we've got to move on, man. We've got to move in.
Shall I make Narit feel better? Shall I make Narit feel better quickly? Look at, like, as an Arsenal fan, we get this all the time. Every single game, Saka goes to the ground, and we're thinking, this guy better not get injured. Every single time, like, something happens to one of our attackers, like, what's going to happen next? Every team is having this same issue. And I know Arsenal not on the same level as Liverpool right now. Man City are going through the same issue. Newell's going through the same issue right now. Real Madrid. Like, even the great Real Madrid, who are the all-conquering Champions League and La Liga winners, what happens if Benzema gets injured? What happens if Vinicius gets injured? But they're not panicking. They're not rushing to go and sign, just anybody. They want that proper player. And I think that's exactly what Liverpool are doing, for example, in the midfield. They want that proper player that they believe is going to take them to a different level. And Liverpool at the point where I would say as an outsider looking in, Liverpool have one of the craziest fitness, like in terms of fitness levels of any team, probably the most fit team in Europe. Liverpool in general don't really pick up that many injuries. They're a team that always play the most intense football. Yeah, they always play the most intense football, and you have enough options now to cover the entire front three. So for me, I would say if you're a Liverpool fan, I'd even feel in terms of the attack, you could even feel more confident than even a Man City fan, for example, right now. So I don't see anything to really be worried about in terms of maybe that one attacker on the right, maybe to help Salah. I don't even think that's a thing. When Salah is so, look at how fit he is, man. Look at how and he's proven it as well. It's not like you're hoping, Salah, maybe you'll get a full season out of him. No, he's done it for how many years now? In a row, and there's no signs of him slowing down. No, and but as I said, other players that can go into that position, and it's going to open. If you have one little position open, that's going to open something maybe for a youngster, for a different player to get more minutes, like a Carvalho, like a Harvey Elliott. You know, I don't think I think right now Liverpool in a really good spot, to be honest.
Anxiety runs through the veins of every football fan. Mm-hmm. No matter what football fan you are, you think of the worst possible outcome all times. You're like, what if so-and-so gets injured? What if we don't win this game, or we don't win anything this season? What if we get relegated for certain clubs? You always think about the worst because there's the possibility that it might happen. So sometimes you have to look beyond that and just accept that, right, we don't know what's going to happen in the season. Coming into the season after we won the league, I could have never predicted we would have lost all our centre-backs.
No, but the counter argument that people would say, and I've got a rebuttal, but let's see if you have. But counter people say, but be prepared.
We are prepared. That's
what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Liverpool are prepared.
We are more prepared than anyone else. If a freak set of injuries happen, no club in the world is prepared for that sort of instance. No club in the world is prepared to lose 2 or 3 players in one position and have 2 or 3 players of the same ability come in who are like your 5th, 6th, 7th options. No club in world football is. This is why every team that wins the Champions League, every team that wins leagues, notoriously the Premier League, they are because they have the fittest and most healthy squads. When we won the league, we barely had any injuries. When City have won the league, they've had barely any injuries. When we won the league, City lost Laporte and Sane, 2 very key players for them, for pretty much the whole season. KDB had a few injury concerns, and that hampered them. That hampered them so bad. So when you see Liverpool and City hit over 95 points a season, they are the 2 best teams in the country. But also, they've been blessed with ultra fit and healthy squads.
Narit, hope we've made you feel much better. Narit, now
100. I can go to bed in peace now. I can sleep peacefully.
I'm not sure, because if anything happens to our strikers in the next 2-3 weeks, you will be banned from this channel.
Narit.
Yeah. I'm not letting him on anywhere near any of my shows, man. Because we may have made you feel better, but I think you've put some of that pessimism in us or me. So now I'm thinking if Salah and Diaz and Bobby get injured tomorrow, my God, we're gonna have Nunez, Carvalho, and Jota up front.
Doesn't sound that bad, to be honest. Doesn't sound that bad.
Still very good.
No, it wasn't my intention to do that, but wanted to just share my concerns with the Liverpool boys here.
Of course.
That's why I love this channel. I love this platform. I have no one else to talk to about this, so all my mates are all United fans. So
what a horrible group of people. But listen, it's been wonderful. You've been amazing.
No, thanks for having me on. Thank you so much, and big up to all of you. And smash the like, people. Smash it right now. Thank you so much, guys.
Look after yourself. Take care. You've been wonderful.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Guys, there's still 460 of you in here. You lot are mad. Keep liking that stream if you haven't. Yeah, man. Football Gospel says keep hitting the like for Darwin. Hit the likes, people. Hit the likes, people. There's a few people in the chat, but it's people. Can you get rid of that share the screen thing business, Omar? Is that taking up one space in the studio?
Yeah.
I hope it isn't, because there's people getting allowed to enter the studio.
Should be
Guys, as you guys know, I do encourage new callers and channel members. The priority is for new callers or channel members. If you haven't become a member of the channel, go and hit up this link, become a member. You get priority. So then you can't even get angry at me if I don't let you. Interactions, comments, priority on short calls. That's one part and parcel of the package. We have got, where's he gone, man? He's been waiting for ages. Nikhil Alvarez.
Right.
I can't click his picture.
I'll add him in.
Go for it, Nikhil. Welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? All good?
We are very, very well, my friend. I know you've been waiting for a little while. How's things? What would you like to speak about?
All good. First thing is we have one trophy and we are going to win more trophies than both of our rivals on the first day of the season. This is what I have. First thing. Congratulations to all the Liverpool fans. And Arsenal, congratulations to you also. Good to see Arsenal doing well. Good Arsenal keeps Man United out of the top 4. That's what I want. So
can I
Arsenal
say
do well.
The alliance,
We are supporting you from outside. Don't worry. Good players. Martinelli, all everyone's performing well. I was seeing your preseason also. Doing well. Very good. Martinelli, nurture him and you can sell him to Liverpool afterwards. No problem.
I don't think Liverpool have the money for that, unfortunately.
Don't worry. Klopp like Martinelli when he had come in the first season. You remember he was asking Edu, from where did you guys get his signing? So
yeah, I know.
we are looking at him. We are looking at him. You nurture him. Get him to the league standard, winning the Premier League.
Feed him, make him strong. Yeah, feed him, make him strong. Make him good, and then we'll take him. Omar, you was going to say something?
Yeah. Can I just say one thing quickly? About Arsenal. So I was on the train today. Very hot day. London Underground on a weekend, notoriously busy. Whatever. Arsenal had just played. Trains were a mess. Trains weren't going where I wanted them to go.
There was a strike.
They're on the rails, not on the underground. Luckily,
Yeah.
I tried to get the Elizabeth line, and apparently it was open, but it was closed. My carriage, the lights were off, so it was pitch black. But the worst thing about the journey was the Arsenal fans sat opposite me, and what I heard was Gabriel Jesus is going to be the Premier League top scorer, and Arsenal are going to win the league.
Well,
I don't know.
The fans are gassed, man. The fans are
seeing
gassed.
a lot
I
of
can't lie.
Arsenal fans, and I'm like, it's.
I mean, I don't know about winning the league.
Winning the league is a stretch too far. Yeah. Winning the league this season is still a way too.
But Gabriel Jesus will be in the top 3. If he's fit, he'll be in the top 3. That's my prediction. Because one thing, see, Salah initially for Liverpool used to score a lot of goals. But if Nunez is going to play a striker, the goals will be shared between Salah and Nunez. Remember this. So I think Jesus will be the focal point of Arsenal's attack, and he has a strong chance if he's fully fit. That's another question.
Jesus today, Gabriel Jesus, you watch him play at Arsenal already, as long as just preseason and stuff. But you know what he's had getting at Arsenal is not what he got at Man City. At Man City, sometimes he's been forced to play right wing, out wide, stay there, up and down the line, work hard and help the team that way. At Arsenal, he has complete freedom. He's the main man, He's the guy playing up front. You watch the game and you can't mark him. He's literally playing everywhere. He's got so much energy. I think Pep came out the other day and said he's the best defensive striker I've ever worked with or something like that, in terms of he always sets the press. He's the most hardworking guy he's ever had play for him up front. And I don't think Pep is lying, obviously. I think Pep's being honest when he does say that. And when I watch him, I see someone who, for me, has got the full freedom of the team to be that guy, and he's taking it on. He wants to be the main man for Arsenal, and obviously he's playing out of his skin as well. The World Cup's coming. Don't forget, the World Cup's coming. Brazil right now are probably the favourites, and Gabriel Jesus wants to be the number 9. So he's going to make sure he does everything in the next few months to cement his position. And I think at Arsenal, he's found a team where he can just literally do whatever he wants. And I think that's going to give him the chance, to really put up some good numbers. And as Nicole says, I don't know where he would finish if he plays every single game. I think a good season for him, like a really amazing season, would be if he hit 20 goals. That'd be unbelievable in the Premier League. That'd be absolutely unbelievable. And if he does play every single game, maybe it's possible with the amount of chances he should be getting. So I think that would be good. I don't know what you guys think about Gabriel Jesus and how you think maybe he could transform Arsenal or how he could develop as well. He's only 25, remember. He's coming into his prime now, and he's finally. I know Man City, you know, they're a good club. They've won a lot of Premier Leagues recently, but it's not a big club. Finally, he's playing at a big club where fans get gassed. Like they get gassed because they have the history, maybe they have the expectation, they have the fan base, and they have wide ranging opinions. Some deluded, some normal, some just here and there. So
every fan base has that. Every fan base has that. But Nikhil,
exactly.
what do you think, Nikhil? While we have you, what do you think if we asked you for your top 4 in positions, how they're going to end up? Like the top 4 league positions, how do you think they're going to end up?
I think it will be a toss-up between Liverpool and Man City for first and second. It could go either ways. I mean, see, we all want Liverpool to win, but league, when it comes to league, I'm not that confident. But when it comes to Champions League, I'm more confident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is just a thing. Like, ever since I was a kid, like I've been supporting Liverpool for more than 20 years. Steven Gerrard is my idol. That's why I'm supporting Liverpool. I'm not from the UK, but because of Gerrard, I'm supporting Liverpool. And even when our team was not good in 2005, that time we used to fight with AC Milan, Chelsea, the big, better players. But that spirit in us in Champions League is something I'm confident. Even if anyone plays for Liverpool in the Champions League, I feel more confident compared to the league. That is one thing about Liverpool in the Champions League. But league, I said it will be a toss-up. It will be close between Man City and Liverpool. That is 1 and 2. I think Tottenham will come third. Antonio Conte is hungry. For me, he's looking hungry. And the signings that they've made, he means business. And Conte, 1-2 years, he will have a strict regime at the club. But he will perform. He will give them a trophy. Sorry, Arsenal, but it's a fact. I have to say that. But
I don't think Conte has he really got the power to lift the curse of Tottenham. We'll see. But I do think they will finish third, or they should finish third. Like they should. With what they've done, with the players they've got, they should finish third.
Yeah. Fourth depends on what Chelsea do. What Man United do. Because if Frankie de Jong comes, I'm a Dutch football fan. If Frankie de Jong comes, he can change the game. Because he's not like Pogba or like any other player. He plays for the team. He's not a player who will go there, show off, do 1-2 fancy passes, walk around. No. Frankie de Jong can control the game. Like in front of the defense, he will control the game. I've seen him for Holland also. For us, we don't have that many great players like we used to. But he controls the game against France, Germany, all these teams. You see him, he takes that responsibility. Like I speak to a lot of Man United fans. I tell them one thing. If you compare Liverpool when I was growing up, like 2005, 2007, that area, compared to the Man U now, the difference is only one person. It's Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard had character, leadership to play with players like David Ngo, all these players. I mean, I'm not disrespectful to any player, but these players weren't up to the mark, but he made them better. What Steven Gerrard, but Man U lack leadership right now. That is the difference between Man U now and Liverpool. Maybe you say 2000, that barren period that we had. I would say that is the difference. You need responsible players. And that I seen Thiago also. Thiago's performance today, I saw him. He will not do anything fancy, but he will do what is important for the team. He will do his business. He will not show about this, that, disciplined, very, very well organized. And he gives you a lot of options. So these are the players which are very important for us, if you want to build a team. That's my opinion.
No, you've spoken very well, and I can't disagree with anything that you've said, Omar.
No, I agree. I think the point you made about Frankie de Jong, I agree. He's that sort of player, and he's done it for Ajax, and he's done it for Holland. But I can't see him coming into Man United and then dominating games against the likes of Liverpool and Man City with the players around him. I think there's still the quality in those teams are so high, especially in the midfields. If he comes up against a midfield of Bernardo, KDB, Rodri, or Thiago Fabinho, Henderson, if you're looking like in terms of ball retention, Keita, he's not as good as he is on the ball. He's not a one-man army. He's not someone that can dictate a game. United will be on the back foot in some games against maybe the likes of Liverpool, City, Arsenal, maybe Chelsea as well. So there's a player obviously there, but
no, I'm talking about the top four. I'm talking about the top four. 1 and 2 is between us. I'm talking about the top four.
Yeah, Frankie De Jong, he would be a good signing for Man United, but I don't think he's enough to transform the team. I think, to be honest, I've already said, right now as it stands, if the window ended tomorrow, I would say Man United, I put them 7th, man. I'm going to be honest. That's
Really?
maybe a hot take. I think
Thank
West
you very
Ham.
much. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Mr. Bilal. You said a
I
very
would say,
beautiful thing. Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Wow.
You put them even 10.
Yeah. No, I would put them in 7th, honestly. I'd say like even
Really?
West Ham right now, I'd put West Ham above Man United, to be honest. I look at their team from first 11, wise in the
Good
structure
team.
they have in their team, very hard to play against, very direct on the counter, especially against the big teams. They're showing that they can take points off them as well. I feel like they're further ahead right now, to be honest, than Man United. Of course, Man United have the name and maybe they can get the bigger signings than West Ham, obviously. But as it stands right now, you look at their attack, for example. Let's say Martial, I heard he got injured today, apparently, as well. So if they're going to be relying on a Ronaldo, who doesn't really want to be there, he's 38, 37 going on 38. Sancho, Rashford. After that, who? Elanga? Elanga's is not good enough. You know what I mean. The midfield itself isn't strong. Fred, McTominay. Who else is in there? Van der Beek. Massive question marks. I think Erik ten Hag might give him a chance, but if he doesn't prove himself, he'll get him out of there. So for me, yeah, I agree with Nico in terms of either Man City, Liverpool 1 and 2. I'd put Tottenham 3rd. They should be with Kane and Son. Even if they play bad, they should win game. They win games because of that quality sometimes. And for me, as an Arsenal fan, I put Arsenal 4th. And then
All
after
the best.
that,
All the best. We want you to do well.
I put, it's not because I do think Arsenal play some of the best football when they have the first 11 in the league, up there with Liverpool and Man City. They can play that very good football. But after that, it depends on Chelsea, as you said. We don't know what they're going to do with their three at the back, with their centre backs, with their wing back, with their attack. Chelsea has so many question marks. You don't know what's actually happening. So yeah, it does depend on them as well. But in terms of Man United, I don't think Frankie De Jong is enough.
Nikhil
I respect Arsenal as a club. It's good Arsenal does well, because Arsenal is not a club like City or Chelsea who will go there and say, take 100 million, buy this one. Arsenal has a system about doing things, That is why I respect you. And Wenger is the teacher. Top man, Mr. Wenger. Yeah. But you did not treat him properly, sir. That is wrong. Some of your friends, I'm not talking about you, some of your friends.
Yeah.
But Wenger is the teacher.
Listen, there's a lot of respect between Arsenal and Liverpool fans, especially after Liverpool.
See, he's a top man. You need to admire what he has done.
Tottenham, yeah. As I say, after Liverpool beat Tottenham in that Champions League final, I know Arsenal fans were so scared before that final. And then when Salah scored that penalty, like within a few minutes, we were just all breathing a collective sigh of relief.
I respect Arsenal for letting Liverpool put 12 goals past them a season. That's how I respect Arsenal.
I think we scored no goals.
But the rivalry was not all that great before the Premier League. You remember when you all scored 2 goals against us when we were winning the league?
Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
back in the days.
89, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Billa was.
I wasn't alive, but I know the history. Yeah, I wasn't alive.
The history. Nikhil, I'm so rude. I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask where you're calling from. Tell us where you're calling from, brother.
I'm currently in the UK, but I'm originally from Goa.
I've been to Goa.
Yeah, I'm going for the match on Crystal Palace match. I'm going on the 15th for the match to Anfield.
Oh, amazing. I've been to Goa. I'm not joking.
Where are you from, brother?
Well, my family originally is from Pakistan. But
Lala, Shahid Afridi, Boom Boom Afridi.
That's right, bro. That's right. Thank you.
He's our boy. Top man. Lala is a top man.
People in the chat, if they don't know about Lala and Shahid Afridi, you get to know, bro. He's Boom Boom Afridi, if any cricket fans.
Boom Boom Afridi. He's a legend.
I've been to Goa. I spent 1 week in Mumbai and I spent 1 week in Goa and Gujarat. Split. So I had a wonderful time. Absolutely amazing place, Goa. I recommend people. You want to go for a holiday, go to Goa. Wow, absolutely wonderful and beautiful. Nikhil, it's been so nice speaking to you. Is there anything else you want to speak about with the guys?
One thing, like in your opinion, what do you think? Who is like one player we cannot afford to lose to injury or to anything this season? Who would that one player be, like from a Liverpool point of view? Like if he has to be one player.
I think there's only one answer. There could be no. Of course, there's possible 10 answers, 11 answers possible, right? But I think the consensus would suggest there's only one correct answer, and that's Mohamed Salah, especially on the back of losing Sadio Mane, because Nunez will take time, Diaz will take time, Jota is injured. So I know many will say Virgil van Dijk. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I know some will say Alisson.
Even I was of the
Alisson.
opinion of Van Dijk.
Yeah. I wouldn't argue against that, but in my opinion, it's Salah. People, we've got bots in the chat. All the mods, can you do your bit, please, and block all the bots?
I think.
I was gonna say, what's your opinion? Go for it.
For me, it is Virgil van Dijk. I'll give you a reason, a justification behind that. Is because I remember, you remember when we did not, before signing Van Dijk, we were great attacking wise. We used to score a lot of goals. But when Van Dijk came, he transformed our defense.
Mm-hmm.
He made us into the team that we are. I'm not saying he's the sole reason, but he helped players like Trent, Robertson go higher up the pitch. He gave them the license. So I feel Van Dijk transformed. And when we lost Van Dijk through injury, he was one player, I thought the loss was a bit more bearable because you lack the leadership in defense. Because I thought Van Dijk, like, he guides the team. He takes responsibility. Players who take responsibilities are very important.
You're back. We just lost you for
back.
1-2 seconds. You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. So yeah, my opinion would be Virgil van Dijk.
Fair enough. Outside looking in again?
You know what? Obviously, you have to say Mo Salah, but you could say Van Dijk. I understand, but I think with Konate, Matip, I don't know, Joe Gomez. I think with Joe, you can't really trust him. That he'll play 30 minutes sometimes and maybe get injured. So, you have to go Mohamed Salah. But for me, there's like a few players in Liverpool's team who are key: Trent, Salah, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Alisson. I think is that 5 players. Those 5, they're the core. If they stay fit the whole season, you can work around all of that. So, yeah, I think those 5 are the core. And in terms of just one player, of course, I think you have to go with the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah, especially when you haven't really got anyone else who can do his job to that high degree.
I think you said Salah, isn't it? You probably say Salah.
Yeah, so I think when you get asked this question, you should look at the drop-off. Should a player get injured? And I think the drop-off, I think you can make a case for Alisson, but you have Kelleher, who of course isn't Alisson, but is adequate backup. Van Dijk, if he gets injured, you do have Konate, Matip, Gomez, who I think is amazing depth in centre-back, but no one does what Mo Salah does at right wing for us.
How about Trent Alexander-Arnold, people?
Best right back in the world for me, man. I love this guy. One of my favorite players.
What do you think?
If Trent gets injured, unique. It's because he's so unique that you can't replace what he does on the pitch. But I think if you then went in with Joe Gomez at right back, you might adjust your team and maybe have him sit a bit more actively, which might allow the right central midfielder to push on a bit more. So someone like Naby Keita, Harvey Elliott might have more freedom in that position. So no one can do what Trent does for us. But the people that can fill in at right back, I'm happy with. Gomez, Ramsey, Milner. I'm more than happy with them if they have to fill in for him.
That Ramsey kid looks really good, Like he plays very similar to Trent in a lot of ways. Has a lot of the same qualities. So, I don't know if he's ready for Premier League and to play like a decent amount of minutes. But maybe the drop-off wouldn't be... Obviously, first season would be big. After that, you'd expect this Calvin Ramsey kid to literally just maybe come in a lot of the time, in the cup games especially.
Nikhail, we have to keep it moving. There's so many people still waiting to come on. Wow, there's the studio's packed. There's about 12 people in there waiting to come on. I want to ask you one last thing before you go. Who was your man of the match today?
For me today, I think I would say, what's his name, Trent. I would give it to Trent today.
Okay, Trent, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I would give it to Trent today for his game today. But there was everyone, to be very honest, everyone performed their part in the game. There wasn't it wasn't like one guy who did everything. So I think Trent was good. It's some one game, you wouldn't say just one guy out of everyone, but
Yeah, there was no standout. There was a couple of.
There was no standout. Everyone did their part. But I was very happy for Darwin Nunez today because, there was a lot of pressure, especially on social media, like on Darwin Nunez and stuff. So, I just wanted him to score that because now he scored that. He's got that, it's a bit chilled out. Now the pressure is on Haaland. So it's transformed. It's transformed from here to there, basically. So, he can just relax, do his stuff. And all the players, if you've seen them, they were so happy that he scored. They were really happy for him. So that's good. Like even the fans were backing him, Nunez. So, we need to back our player because we are not like other teams who sign 100 million flops. So, we need to keep doing well.
Exactly. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've been so good. Thank you very much for calling in.
Same here, brother. Have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. Thanks. And keep liking the channel, yeah?
Thank you very much, my brother. Take care of yourself. Make sure you call in again. Thank you. Take care.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
sure. Yes.
What a lovely guy. I love beautiful people, personality and characters like that. Amazing. Absolutely beautiful. This is what it's about, man. You know what I mean? Ohms, didn't get your opinion on the game today very briefly. What did you think about today's performance? Enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it reminded me of that City semi-final in a way. I thought Mo Salah looked incredible. You know how at the sort of start of the season he was running at defenders, taking them on, going in and out. He had as people in my generation say, he had Cancelo in a spliff. He.
Why do they say that then? No, I'm joking. It's quite self-explanatory. You don't need to go there. Yeah, you don't need to go there.
Sure, chat, if you don't know, you can use your imagination. So yeah, Trent, obviously, I think it's just refreshing to see Trent do what he always does and just ping balls 70, 80 yards, switch the ball to Luis Diaz. It was amazing. Seeing our defense, that high line, like them make Haaland look ordinary. It was amazing. The midfield were immense. Just little things. It was more like seeing the boys do what the boys do again. So like Thiago, his little turns in and out. I thought Thiago was, for me, running close for like a man of the match performance. The way he sort of he just doesn't lose the ball, and we take that for granted. But when you have a player like that, you almost don't, even when he's got 2 or 3 players around him, you don't think, oh, he's gonna lose the ball here. He's gonna hoof it out of play. He'll look after that ball and use it wisely, and then once people have committed onto him, it just opens up the game, and then football's simple from then. So overall, it was just more like refreshing to see us hit that level once more, and that really for me was the best thing about the game.
I've got a question. Do you not get scared watching Thiago sometimes make these tackles? I'm looking at him. I'm like, he's very aggressive. Like, he tries, and I'm thinking, I just not really your strongest point. As in, like,
I know what you mean.
He might get a red card here.
I feel like when he came into the team, he picked up like 5 yellows in like the space of like 8 games because he was being really reckless. He wasn't adjusted to like Premier League tempo. Now he is.
No. What happened was, go on. I'm sorry.
No. Okay, I'll finish and then I'll go to you, Grizz. Now, like his pressing is really underrated. Like towards the back end of the season, the way how I think Pep Linders said it in his like coaches talk or whatever, masterclass, whatever, that when we press to win the ball. We don't press for pressing's sake. And you can see it in those players when they're engaged, they're there to win the ball. And his like timing now is at such a high level that I don't feel scared at all. There was one moment where I think there was a few moments. Grealish tried to take Fabinho on, and Fabinho just goes shoulder to shoulder, wins the ball, secures the ball. Thiago did it numerous times in like on the left hand like side of the pitch. So for me, that's so refreshing to see, and like I feel safe. But yeah, Grizz, you were saying.
I was saying that we need to keep this moving. I just noticed it's 2 hours, man.
Of course.
Like I've got a couple of super chats.
You know?
Yeah, time has flown, man. Super chat from Jay Finn, who says, what Barca is doing is very smart. Even if the plan don't work after the mortgage loan run out, they get all the money back. They don't go bankrupt. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert.
I don't know. I heard the other day, though, Barca, apparently all of these loans and stuff that they're doing, So that means they can't join the Super League for the next 5 years. I heard something like that. I can't confirm it, but it sounds feasible. You wouldn't give a loan because it's based on you being in the Champions League and you doing X and Y and Z. If they go to a Super League, maybe that ruins everything. So I heard apparently they can't even join the Super League for the next 5 years if they wanted to. So I found that very interesting because I felt like maybe that was a plan. Maybe they do all of this and then they sneak their way into a Super League and get more money that way. But yeah.
How do you know that? If someone has any information on that, or if that's the case,
someone in the comment try confirm that.
If it goes wrong, Barcelona Football Club is finished, I think.
Yeah, if they don't get quarterfinals, semi-finals of Champions Leagues, it's long. But the thing with Barca, because it's fan owned, I feel like there could be a situation if it really goes completely left, they'll end up having to just succumb and being like a normal football club and being taken over just like Chelsea were recently by a private investor.
All right, let's see if we can how many we can squeeze in. People, there's 12 of you in the studio. I'm telling you now, there's no chance of all 12 of you coming on. I'm going to try to get as many as I can. I've told you I try to get as many as I can, but I do have to give priority to channel members, and that's the way it works. I've got Quasi on next. Quasi, my brother, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a long time, brother.
How you doing? You good?
Doing well. Thank you so much. How you guys, Bilal and Omar?
Yeah, big up, Quasi, man. Good.
Thank you. By the way, Grizz, so I guess you were accused of being a goal happy because you were so happy about how Liverpool is being ran, and I mean,
I'm happy to be happy. I'm happy to be happy, man.
You were called on Twitter. I mean, there was so much fiasco that was going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Me called out on Twitter?
I was shocked. But now that we keep winning, are they still gonna be mad that we are still happy? I was just asking for a friend. I mean,
oh man, see, you want me to address people that I don't want to address. We're
not addressing people. We just
you want me to address situations that I don't have time for. I literally don't have time for. I'm happy to be happy. People can be happy to be negative. People can be happy to be pessimistic. People can be happy to be positive. People just be happy, man. Be happy in your lives. Be happy. Do whatever you do. Be happy. If you feel as though the only way you're happy is to be the way you are, then be the way you are. As long as you're happy. A lot of happy is there, but that's how it is, right? So, but. Banda, man, I ain't got time for this shit, man. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. How did you watch it? What are you saying? Was you impressed? Any negatives? Any things to worry about? Talk to me.
I mean, I think we all have the same concern that we need one more midfielder. Beyond that, I mean, we are at 75% today. Imagine if we go to 85 and get close to 100. Liverpool, we were not even sharp, guys. This is like how the team is scary right now. Yes, we do need a few players to stay fit. We need a few players to, lift their game up a little bit more. But imagine if that happens. Right now, this is City that we did that to today. And did Liverpool play 100% the whole time? No. I think during the first half, after the 30 minutes, you could tell they took over the game. And I was very excited that the halftime went in because they could have scored 1 or 2 goals. But I'm so excited about the team. The only thing that I have concern for, and this is Klopp, probably never going to change, is try not to force players to play positions they are not good at. The last match we played with Red Bull, Austrian team, putting Elliott in that position, he becomes one-dimensional, and he's very easy to contain, right? So I'm hoping that this year Klopp is just put people where they are comfortable, and if we have an injury and he needs to make a few adjustments, then hey, he's the boss. But other than that, I'm so excited about the season. I don't care what happened. I'm still going with we winning with everything because that's what Liverpool is made for. So I'm not really concerned. Klopp is focused. Last year we saw what he did, and this year, if everybody is fit, we're going for the Immortals again.
You think so, huh?
I know there's an Arsenal fan here. Hello, Gunnar fan. what we were trying to do last season would have trumped up the Invincibles. Although I do respect the Invincible because
No, of course, you win 4 trophies. Like that's never
4
been done
trophies,
before. That'd been ridiculous.
Yeah, and we were 1 goal away, 10, 15 minutes away to accomplish that. So
I thought it was going to happen at one
this
point.
year. We still have the capabilities to challenge all those trophies.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Holmes? Bilal?
Yeah, go on, Holmes.
You need a lot of luck. I said it the whole stream today. You need a lot of luck to be challenging for trebles and quadruples. You need your whole squad to be fit. You need everyone to be bang on it. We had luck in our cup runs. We had 2 very close cup finals against Chelsea. In the title running, we had a lot of close games where we sort of sneaked it over the line. Champions League, you need a lucky run, or you need things to go your way in that competition. So to think about trebles, quadruples, look, if any squads I think are suited to or are prepared to do that, the only 2 squads are probably Liverpool and City. You never say never, but for me, like, I would be more than content with one of the big boys, and I'll be more than content with just the Premier League or just the Champions League, right? And I was so happy with an FA Cup and a League Cup, a cup double. Yeah, for me, that's great. It's this whole thing about stat padding trophies. I love it. People say, "Oh, you didn't win a Prem, you didn't win a Champs. That's a failed season." That's a load of bollocks.
No.
You need luck, and let's just see how it pans out. Let's have these conversations again in March, April, May, and see where we are. Because with the World Cup in the middle of the season, it's going to be a really, really unpredictable season, and I just want to get through it, competing for maybe 1 or 2 big titles at the end of the season at least, and I'll be happy with that.
I have a question for you guys. As Liverpool fans, I think I'll give you my opinion first. Then you guys, I guess, could come into that. I feel like Liverpool need to win this next Premier League season. They need to win the Premier League title this season. I feel like just for the overall legacy of Klopp and what Liverpool are doing, I feel like just adding that second Premier League will be really good. Because I'll give you my feelings as an Arsenal fan playing both Liverpool, watching Arsenal play both Liverpool and Man City. The dominance I feel when we play Liverpool compared to Man City is different worlds. I feel like Liverpool really feels so dominant. You know, I feel like people don't in the future maybe won't appreciate how good this Liverpool team really are and how dominant they actually are without maybe getting an extra Premier League. And I feel like, should you even prioritize if you got a Champions League and you got a PSG, but also you got let's say a Chelsea on the Premier League in the same week? Would you not try and prioritize that Chelsea game and try and get that Premier League? Obviously, you do both, obviously, in real time. But would you not put more of your eggs in trying to win the Premier League than the Champions League right now? Because Liverpool, the history of the Champions League is there already. It's that Premier League now.
I'll go first. I'll go first because it's my show and I can bully you lot, so I can do what I want. So I'll go first very quickly and easily. I agree with you, Bilal. I absolutely agree with you, Bilal. I think we do need to cement the legacy of this particular era and team with at least another Premier League or a Champions League. But I agree with you. I would prioritize the Premier League. That's just my opinion. Over to these 2 guys.
Well, I would say I agree with what Grizz said. But also, I like the question you asked, and it's a fair question. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of the rivals are trying to shy away by putting all the pressure on Liverpool. What are you guys doing?
I know, but the reason people are asking about Liverpool is because Liverpool are the team that have been closest. And this era that we'll remember is being Pep and Klopp. Just the way we remember Wenger and Ferguson, we're going to remember Pep and Klopp. And for it to be Klopp and Pep, maybe Klopp needs that extra Premier League for us to start putting Klopp first and Pep second. You know what I mean?
I want to ask the chat as well, because I've seen this in the chat. Do you think if Liverpool were not to win any more trophies under Klopp, how do you think that legacy will be remembered? Because if you said to us the position we were in when Klopp came, that Jurgen Klopp would have one of every single trophy possibly available to him, except the Europa League, would you take that? I guarantee you, close to 100% of fans would have said, yeah, the position we're in. Okay, the trick here is, the problem here is that we know how good our squad is. We know that if our squad was placed into any other era of Premier League football, God, we'd have multiple Premier Leagues, multiple cups, whatever. So I understand that. So yeah, we're at a base level where we have everything, but it's like Grizz said earlier, it's in human nature to want more. Yeah, so we want now multiple Premier Leagues, multiple Champions Leagues, and I want that. And I think when you look back, it's all about your sort of ego, and it comes from an ego point of view in a way where your club is your ego, and you want your club. You want to look back on your club and say, look what we did in that period. Look how many Premier Leagues we won in that era. Because Man United fans do it. They'll be like, under Ferguson, we won 13 Premier Leagues. We won 2 Champions Leagues, so many cups, whatever. Arsenal fans under Wenger, look how many FA Cups they won, whatever. So it comes from an ego perspective, an ego point of view, that you now in 15, 20 years where maybe you're not the dominant force, you can look back and say, yeah, we're not the dominant force now, but look what we've done under Klopp. So I get that point, but let's also want that, but also appreciate what's already happened.
Yeah, and I will add some more to that, because, guys, if Liverpool wasn't here, the league would be called Ligue 1. I mean, you can't put all the pressure on Liverpool because we are dominant as City. The other rivals also have to step up. Because honestly, when Liverpool plays any team, for me, the way I see it, maybe I'm wrong or maybe I'm biased, it looks to me that it's harder for Liverpool to play any other team than City. Because every time any other team plays City, they're already giving up. But a lot of times, the team that steps up to City end up surprising them, either beat them or draw with them. But when any team plays Liverpool, it's like a cup final every single game. Trust me, I'm a Golden State Warrior fan. Basketball, Bay Area. It's the same thing. 75% of their game is like a cup championship final. You can't keep that consistency for a long time. So a lot of times it feels like, oh, City is so dominant. No. Yet when they play Liverpool, it's different. I mean, today's game was a Community Shield game. Look, it felt like a Premier League game. It felt like a Champions League final. So I think, yes, legacy-wise, rival banter, everybody will be like, yeah, Liverpool should have won more with that team. But guess what? City is like Liverpool's evil twin.
Yeah, it's the system. It's a system.
Except they got more money than us.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Grizz, Liverpool are smarter when it comes to doing business. I stand by it. I know last time I caused trouble with brother Dabs, but when it comes to business in running a football club, Liverpool is the smartest. And we've seen that a lot of teams are following our system, right? But the funny thing is, teams that are following our system, their fans will be like, oh, we're doing this great, we're doing that great. Okay, Liverpool, why are you guys not buying a midfielder? You think you have the right team to go challenge City? I'm like, yo, you just told us that you like what our system is for you, but turn around and said, oh, Liverpool, you guys are going to fall off the top 4. Every year we hear Liverpool's going to fall off the top 4. We're going to be 6th. At best, we're going to be 4th.
This comes from that point of anxiety again. Every football fan is anxious about their team because every team in the Premier League starts on 0 points, right? So everyone starts at at level 0. So you don't know how the next season is going to pan out. So whilst you have an idea that your team's probably the top 2 in the league and should be getting 90 points a season, you just never know. So that's where the anxiety comes from, and people are like, "Oh, we need to capitalize on this now. We need to do this now. We need to do that now." But if you take yourself out of that sort of condensed nature and like boiling pot of football and anxiety, you open yourself up and you look at the Liverpool squad and you're like, this Liverpool squad has rejuvenated itself. It's younger than it was, it's fresher than it was, and it's arguably more exciting than it was. So there's no reason to really be anxious, but deep down in all of us, you think the worst for your football club. I'm sure, Bilal, you're thinking, oh, we've had an amazing pre-season, but we've got to go to Crystal Palace away next Friday. So you know deep down you should be wiping the floor with that Palace team. Gabriel Jesus will continue his form, turn it on in the Premier League, but he starts on 0 goals. He technically has 0 goals for Arsenal because pre-season doesn't matter.
It's training games. Exactly.
These things, like, they play on our minds, but you have to, like, it's harder to say. It's easier to say than do, but you have to sort of bring yourself away from that and say, right, I'm gonna back this, and whatever happens. But what I think will happen, I'm gonna support, and I'm gonna let my opinions back that sort of view.
Omar, you know what they call people like that? Too happy.
Too happy.
Yeah,
I'd rather be too happy than too pessimistic.
We are too happy to go along with whatever is going on, but we have a manager who's one or two greatest manager right now, right? I challenge, like I told people, when we won the Champions League and club did not buy any player, just said we got bills to pay, I lost my damn mind. You know, I watched Sporting, Bruno go through us like when they played the preseason game in New York. And guess what? From the first kick of the game, we won the league. Pandemic or not, we won the league. After that, I said I would never challenge this man ever again. Of course, I have some concerns when he makes late subs or, do certain things. But after that, I was like, whatever he does, man. I mean, FSG gave him a training ground. Yes, that training ground was part of plans, but he said, no, we need it right now. And they spend the money and build a new training ground. They even put that new stadium construction on hold to finish the training ground. So when it comes to our manager, sometimes he is frustrating, but when he makes his decision, I'm riding with him.
Yeah, I agree.
All the time.
I agree 100%.
Absolutely. There's no reason not to ride with him. We always go by the evidence. Quasi, it's been amazing, bro. I've got about 3-4 people that I need
so much. Real quick, Grizz, guys. Nunez, this is just the beginning. Don't worry about the goals. Right now, it's just play patterns. He's going to learn the play patterns. Just like Suarez. Remember, Suarez, it took him, almost 12 months later before the goals started coming in. But his runs and movement was so nightmarish for defenders. Steven Gerrard was like a brand new Steven Gerrard. But Brother Grizz, thank you so much. Quasi Bowl TV, please look me out. I'm out there. And Grizz, I appreciate you. You're doing a great job, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you very much. Take care.
Good luck.
Take care, bro.
Take care, man. What, did he kick himself out?
Oh, Grizz kicked himself out?
I think he kicked. That's hilarious.
Did you promote me, Grizz?
Get out of here, man.
You can stay that side now.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
That's hilarious.
Stop it, man. Stop playing games. How do I press this? 1 second.
Do it.
No. I've done exit full screen. Yeah. You can stay there if you want. If it makes you feel big and proud and you're gangster now. Like, you gangster now. Like, are you a gangster now?
Get my
got the cap on and everything.
I feel like an alpha now.
If you feel like a gangster like that, no problem. Stay in that corner. No problem. You're the man. But guys, if you haven't noticed, I've unpinned this link. I'm not going to be taking any more people than there is already in the studio. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can in the studio. Next one is Nippon. Nippon, welcome to the stream, my friend. How you doing?
Oh, you're on mute.
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. You okay?
Yeah. It's always nice seeing Man City get beat. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been going all around Twitter, and obviously we all know Haaland is going to get good. But I was going around Twitter shamelessly saying, Erling Broad Werner, are you Timo in disguise, and all that. But yeah, congratulations on winning the Community Shield.
Thank you. Do you count it as a trophy or not really? If you want it.
Not really, but it's a good way to build the momentum in your team.
Absolutely. There's no harm, is there?
No.
There's no harm in winning.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
It's fine to win. You keep on winning. Start the season. It builds confidence.
Look, I've already said this. I get a lot of stick from my fan base for saying this, but I'd rather Liverpool win the league than Man City, because unless my team is the favourite to win the league, I'll always be cheering for the team that isn't obviously Liverpool are favourites, but City are more. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What team do you support?
Which is why I want you guys to win the league.
Chelsea fan, right?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Chelsea fans supporting Liverpool.
Look,
I can see why.
I've never really had a problem with Liverpool. Granted, you guys, that goes. That goal we all know from. What's his name again? He's South American, Luis Garcia, right?
Yeah, Luis Garcia.
Look, I didn't lose. Obviously, I was mad at the time, but I didn't lose any sleep over it because we went and won it anyway a few years later.
Well, you lost sleep for 7 years until you.
No, I didn't. But look. All I'm trying to say is, I just hate. You don't make my top 5 most hated teams.
That's the first Chelsea fan I've heard say that.
Honestly, I hate Man United. I hate Man United more than I hate Liverpool.
Thank you.
Wow.
Honestly,
I bet you, Nippon, do you go on other fan channels and say this? So you'll go on a United fan channel, you'll be like, I don't hate United. I hate. So
look, so many United fans know I hate them. Look, my most hated teams in the Premier League, I don't have 5 actually, I have 3. Arsenal, Man United, Man City. Sorry, Bilal. You're a nice guy, but I can't stand your team.
Listen, I would say, the feelings reciprocated, I guess. I can't stand Chelsea that much, but I don't have that level of hate for Chelsea, like the disdain I have for Tottenham and Man United.
Yeah,
so Chelsea after that is, to be honest, for me, when
Omar, Grizz, myself, and Bilal can all agree on is we can all trash on Man United.
Listen, I don't mind, but I'm going to keep it fair. I don't want to bully them. Now I'm going to start feeling guilty, even though I don't like them. But I'll start feeling guilty. We have to keep it a bit balanced.
Yeah, fair enough. But
that's fair enough. Nippon, as usual, you've been very entertaining. I do like to have more of a football chat as opposed to hating other clubs chat on these channels.
Look, it's all love. It's all love.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to speak about football related wise? Sort of anything on the games of your team or my team? Look,
that was a good display from your boys. I honestly, all these Nunez versus Haaland comparisons, I think they will both have phenomenal seasons, and I expect them both to hit double digits.
I agree with you. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Absolutely. There's no one sitting here and saying Haaland is going to be a flop. And if there's people saying Nunez is going to be a flop, then they're probably equally as deluded. So
neither player is going to be a flop. All I'm saying is both of them are going to live up to the hype.
Yep. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Today, you know what showed me, guys? Today it showed me Nunez, Haaland, etc. Neither of them are even a patch on Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah showed today that he's still the Don Daddy, and he still will be the Don Daddy, and he will dictate who wins this league, in my humble opinion, because he tailed off, and we've discussed the reason to the moon and back why. So if he showed even 20% of the form that he showed for the previous 6 months, we would have made up that 1 point. We would have made up that 1 point. But it is what it is. Nippon, I need to wrap up before 3 hours, and I've got a couple more brothers that I need to get on. Appreciate you coming in, my friend. Look after yourself as always.
Yeah, see you in the next one.
Take care of yourself, my friend. Have a good night, my brother. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Nippon's always entertaining. I like Nippon. But I like to keep it football related. So I've got to keep it moving. You know, my channel's not about just coming on and trash talking. But he's a lovely kid. I love having Nippon around. My Nippon's a good guy at heart. That's the main thing. And he hates Man United, so we know where he's coming from. I'm gonna bring in Mo. We're gonna try to wrap this up, guys, very soon. Mo, welcome to the streamer, brother. Hope you're very well.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having us. I saw the stream and I said I want to come in and chat a little bit of football because when I was here with you a couple of days ago, I kind of wrote Liverpool out. I said that City will definitely dominate. And it looks like this guy, Jurgen Klopp, has something in his back pocket every year for us. It never counts him out.
Talk to us. The floor is yours.
The difference is when Haaland came in and when Haaland started the game, I saw why Pep doesn't want a number 9. Even though he had Aguero, Aguero was kind of a number 9 that gets involved in the game. Haaland today was invisible. The reason why is that Haaland likes to be around the box, in and around the box, like he used to be at Dortmund. And that doesn't work for Pep's system because that's why they like to have the ball in the final third and pass it. So it didn't work. They ran into each other. Grealish ran into De Bruyne sometimes and ran into Haaland. They didn't know what to do at that point. The difference is Jurgen Klopp stuck to the basis and played Firmino, who dropped deep, gave the floor to Salah and Diaz. They ran the game. Mo Salah today ran the game from the first minute. Underrated ran the game. All the fuss about like Nunez and Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish, the 100 million, it was Mo Salah who came in quietly, ran the game. Every time he got the ball, everybody panicked. Everybody from City panicked, which showed that the level that this guy's in. He was smiling. He was calm on the ball. He didn't try something difficult. It was the simple passing that set up the goal for the first one. It was just simple stop under his feet, pass the ball. Jurgen Klopp, when he integrated Nunez in the second half, and let me tell you something that maybe not a lot of people noticed. Liverpool, when they play City, City are not used to having Liverpool with a number 9 that is occupying the area. They're always looking for someone to drop deep. Even it was Jota, it was Mane, and it was Firmino. But today, Darwin Nunez did the basics. Got the ball, passed it to the wingers, and then went inside the 18. That caused a lot of a headache to the City defender. They didn't know what to do. 3 times they lost him inside the 18 because they're not used to the big number 9 inside the 18. And Mo Salah is Mo Salah. Right foot for the penalty and left foot for Robertson to give it back for the third goal. Both feet. This is what I'm talking about, philosophy in the game and tactics. Firmino, normal, and then number 9, after the defense was already exhausted from running all of the game, to just give them headache. And it worked. It worked like a charm. But Pep didn't have an answer. I know it's the Community Shield, but I'm sorry, this is the last game before the season starts. This gives us a little bit of an indication that this Liverpool team are ready. They're ready to hit the ground running. And this City team needs a little bit of work still to tweak having someone like Haaland in the team. And it's different. There's only 5 days left before Arsenal play and the season starts. You had to be ready today. And for me, I was wrong because I thought Pep is the genius. He's going to have everything figured out. It looks like the other genius has already everything figured out.
Bilal, Mo has made some wonderful points. And obviously we've discussed a few earlier on as well. My God, the stream's nearly into its third. Well, it's into its third hour, 2.5 hours. But Mo's made some wonderful points, and you said something earlier because you're an Arsenal fan, and you said something about when you play Liverpool and when you play City, the difference that your team feels or how you feel when you're playing the two teams. What is the main difference? Because to me, today's main difference, Mo, and I've been saying it all summer. I said Man City won't have the same control in games that they've had a strangle of in the last couple of seasons without a recognized striker, call it what you want, because they play an extra body in midfield. In fact, they don't just play an extra body. Everyone in that midfield is functional. Is fluid, moving around. The aim of their game is to just control the possession. That's how they defend as well. They just control the possession. Do you feel that's the way? How do you feel you feel like that when you play against them? And what's the differences when you play a Liverpool side?
So like I feel like, you know, Arsenal for the most part in the last few years have been terrible, especially in the midfield and stuff. So obviously when you play Man City with their level of high quality midfielders, you're not going to really touch the ball. But it feels like more of a given just because of the quality of the players. The minute Arsenal sort of started to get a few decent players in midfield, we saw in the New Year's game, Arsenal really did give Man City like a proper game. And I haven't seen that with against Liverpool. When there's a serious game between Liverpool and Arsenal, it's suffocation mode. You feel like a snake or a python is trying to get you and strangle you, and it just feels like there's monsters all over the pitch. It just feels like the pitch becomes smaller than it actually is. Even at Anfield, that's one thing. We feel sometimes the pitch is maybe tighter and the fans are on you, blah blah blah. But the Emirates as well. I have a feeling the Emirates. I know the Emirates is not that bit small of a pitch, but it even feels like the pitch. Everything just gets tight when you play Liverpool, and I feel like that's what Liverpool have over every other team in the world. They can do that to most teams, and especially obviously they're doing that to Arsenal more often than not. But also another thing, I don't think we've talked about this, and this is more on the Man City side, and it feels like Pep hasn't got his squad. It feels like he's missing not a lot of pieces, but he is missing some of the things he needs. The left back Cucurella, of course, hasn't come in yet. Today, tactically, what is he doing with Bernardo? Why is he the deepest lying midfielder? At times he was in between the centre backs. He was in the box, his own box, doing like
to compensate for the number 9. To compensate for the number 9.
Exactly. So all of this, Pep is overthinking everything again. Pep, obviously he's a great tactician, so he does overthink, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a quality of his. But again, Bernardo, Rodri, the positioning was different. It wasn't the same. They wasn't used to doing what they were doing the last few years. And also, again, with Haaland now, I think Pep is going to have to think, okay, maybe they do go in the market now for another direct sort of winger, because I feel like with Haaland, they are against the teams outside the top 6. Let's say, yes, they can control the ball. Grealish and Mahrez can and De Bruyne, all of these guys can get involved and suffocate teams. But this year, I feel like Phil Foden, left wing, that's his position now. He's gonna need to be there to get Haaland more involved. They're gonna have to play a lot quicker and get up the pitch. And Pep, we're going to see how he reacts to having maybe to change a lot of the things that he's really used to doing. So, yeah, I don't know what you guys' thoughts on that in Man City tactically, but yeah, it feels interesting for them.
I think there's 3 points there that I like to pick up on. The first is your point about Liverpool. I agree completely. I think Liverpool off the ball are the best team in the world. I think on the ball, Man City are the best team in the world, which makes their game so interesting to watch. I think if any team in world football makes Ederson look uncomfortable on the ball, it's us. Because how many times when we play City, Ederson, balls that he normally hits, they go into touch or they don't go where they should be going. So that Liverpool press, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Linders, the backroom staff who have sort of made this sort of press iconic, it's the most ruthless press in world football. And it's the most effective press in world football, and it's brilliant. And we saw that from the early days of Klopp. The problem in the early days was when we were on the ball, we didn't sort of have that sort of Man City swag, that sort of tempo, that ability to retain the ball. So we were very up and down, sort of a basketball-like team. Yeah. Now I feel we're more complete. The second point is you talked about City's squad feeling incomplete. I think me and Grizz have said it all summer. People talk about Liverpool squad, but look, it feels incomplete because, hey, they couldn't call on Raheem Sterling today. They couldn't call on Gabriel Jesus today. They couldn't call on Fernandinho. They couldn't call on Zinchenko. Players that under Guardiola so many times over the last few years have proved to get him over the line and proved to sort of just be sort of game changers in like the when they won the league, Zinchenko came on and absolutely bossed that game. People talk about Gundogan's influence off the bench, Zinchenko's influence. I think I put a tweet out earlier. I don't know how Grizz you feel as a Liverpool fan, but Man City's front three today, I was nowhere near. On paper, looks amazing. Grealish, Mahrez, Haaland, they can all turn up. They're brilliant individuals. But when you play Foden, Sterling, and Jesus in the front three, they absolutely tore us a new one last year. And they tore.
Do you think because they're more dynamic, Omar? Do you think because they're more dynamic?
Yeah, it's a movement.
So it's it's a trade-off. You have this amazing striker in Haaland. You need to build your team around him. But look at the pieces you've lost. Look at the personalities you've lost. And for me, as a City fan, I'd be much happier with last year's squad than with this year's squad. But then you also have the X factor. You have that excitement of Haaland, which sort of right now for them, I feel is overruling their sort of logical thought on what their squad is like. It's a bit like Ronaldo at City, Ronaldo at United, right? Ronaldo, I think, hampers the way United play, but the fact you have Ronaldo in the team and he scores hat tricks against Spurs and Norwich or whatever, that sort of overshadows the fact that they could probably, and I think will be better without that. Yeah, go Grizz.
Yeah, so we're going to go into this, try to go into this in depth as we try to do on the RedFellas podcast tomorrow. Don't forget, people, 9 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to try to look
10
p.m. people. Yeah, 10 people. Sorry, yeah, Love Island, of course, dictates that it's at 10 p.m. Hopefully it's the last week. I've been reliably informed, tier 1 source, that it's the last week of Love Island.
Yeah,
so
I think it should be done.
Keith Cross.
Thank God for that, man. Thank God for that. But we're gonna try and look into that in a more depth. But I wanted to ask you guys, and Mo, because you brought it up. What? Where was it? There was a comment here. Oh, it's gone now. I'm too tired. It's 3 hours nearly. But there's still 360 people of you in here.
Yeah,
I know it's half. So you look amazing. Obviously, you've enjoyed it. That's why you've stuck around with us. Okay, people, let me know I've hit 15k subscribers tonight. So big up all yourselves. Thank you very much.
Oh, congrats, bro! Congrats.
It's congratulations to everyone, man. It's not to me, man. It's even you, Mo. You've been wonderful since I've known you as well. It's amazing. 15k in 8 months. You lot are sick, man. This is amazing. Yeah. Humbled. But what I was gonna say, Mo, is shall I tell you what I watched it with a few mates, and you know what I noticed, what I witnessed, especially in the second half. There's no pace now in that team. Man City, suddenly you take out Sterling and Jesus, who were by far their quickest players in attack. Of course, Kyle Walker is the quickest thing on 2 legs in the world, probably, possibly. But in those transitions, and what that enabled us to do as Liverpool, and as Klopp, you spoke about Klopp, enabled Klopp to even go higher up, press them higher. And what that done was give Kevin De Bruyne an absolute no time on the ball. Grealish, no time on the ball. Even Haaland was making runs, no time on the ball. And I felt, just for the Charity Shield, not for the season, people, before people start saying, oh, he's making out, we've clocked and mastered the way to play in the league. No. But just for this particular game, Mo, I felt as though Klopp done him tactically because of that, because as you said, he knew, tried and tested what he was going to do. Pep tried to tweak it and showed him a new hand, but it had no effect on us because it enabled us to play our game even better. And then, as you said, as we tired them out, then we brought on Nunez, who, even if he didn't score, Mo, I don't know what you thought as a neutral, I thought he was an absolute menace to them. Even if he didn't score or whatever, I thought he pinned them back even further, which enabled us to have more time on the ball. And that's one of the very few times you'll see Man City not dominate possession.
You know what? Darwin Nunez is not the flashiest player. That's why people have something against him. Like he doesn't have the best touch. But what I saw today is someone sticking to the basics. And what you said, Grizz, is he just pinned them back. They just got scared because he didn't try so hard to do something that he doesn't have. He just tried what he has. He's a big guy, gets in the right positions, runs behind defenses, and just scare defenses. That's what he did. As for, I said it yesterday with the Coppish guys. I said one thing. I had City people, and I told them, and they didn't like it, the City guys. I said, Liverpool are the better team, but City has the better system to win the league. Like, Liverpool, when they play against City, I think always Liverpool. I remember the battering of the Champions League when Salah scored from halfway line. Liverpool are the better team, 1-1. Like, just the game. Jurgen Klopp sometimes, because he has the tactical thing. But Pep is a system guy. He can put everybody in the right place for 19 games. Against 19 teams. You can just do that. It doesn't work against Liverpool. Most of the time, it doesn't work. They haven't won against Liverpool comfortably lately, other than the Mane red card when he got bad at 5. But other than this, they go up and then you come back. That means Jurgen Klopp knows how to deal with Man City tactically. And what you said, he read the game, no pace. I saw Henderson pressing Ederson about 5 times. We don't see that because people are scared. Even Liverpool are scared sometimes to go that high against City, but they weren't scared. That means the guy saw something, Jurgen Klopp, and he exceeded. I know it's a community shield, and you keep saying that, Grizz. It's only the community shield. No, it's not. You have to admit it's the way you're gonna play. It's the way you're gonna play, and this is the City team. Because what are they gonna do? Are they gonna bring players that they already sold to have pace? No, they won't.
Yeah.
This is the team, right? This is what they have today. And people are not like City fans are saying, I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried, yes. However, what you saw today is no pace. You allowed Liverpool to play a very high line. That means you maybe sold someone wrong. But again, Alvarez came in. He was good. Fair to City. He was so good. He pressed really good. But as you said, Grealish kind of slowing the ball, is not the fastest guy like Sterling. It takes time for him. So everybody from the Liverpool team got in position already, covered correct. Kevin De Bruyne was good today. He was probably the best, but he was so frustrated from everybody in front of him. And it showed, as you said, like having a number 9 and not having a very dynamic wingers. Maris today was okay, but Grealish, I think Grealish killed the game for them, and Jurgen Klopp took advantage of this. It's simple.
Yeah, I agree. I think the front three is probably going to end up Mahrez, Haaland, Foden. That's if it stays the team the way it stays. I think Foden's going to end up just taking that spot. Maybe a simple solution for Man City is now they have to go invest heavily in the fullback positions. Maybe they can't keep doing the inverted thing with Cancelo. Maybe they have to go and spend that money on Cucurella and maybe even get another right back, because Kyle Walker last season, we saw what happened. Pulled up, and when he went out of the team, everything collapsed on that side. So maybe getting proper dynamic fullbacks could help them, sort out the situation. Then you can play the Grealish and Mahrez, and then have that control in the middle, but the option of them bombing, fullbacks. Maybe that's maybe something Man City could look at doing. But as we say, I agree. Like when it comes to Liverpool, Man City, 1-on-1, Liverpool, like I'd rather play Man City than Liverpool, if that makes sense. And that's probably why Man City haven't won the Champions League yet, because in them 1-on-1, mano a mano, someone has to die today. They haven't got that. But when it comes to the Premier League and most of the games, yes, Man City are going to be far superior to most of the teams in the Premier League. They can control the game, beat teams, take it at a nice pace. But when it gets to them serious games now against Liverpool, against Real Madrid,
against Spurs, remember against Spurs? They smothered Spurs. They smothered them, but the Spurs had the capacity and the quality to bypass that press, and they won.
It's a defense again. That's the difference between Liverpool. Liverpool can't do that to Liverpool because the wall of Van Dijk and Konate or Matip, and then you add Robertson who can come in and just and Fabinho. Like it's different. Like you can't just, they're not vulnerable like that. But Man City time and time again have shown they are vulnerable.
See, for me, one of the criticism the other day was, Omar, I think me and you done the watch along for, I can't remember, and I was critical of the midfield. In which midfield?
The RB Salzburg, you did that, right?
Yeah.
I think it was the Leipzig one. The first
I can't remember. Was it the first half? And I said I'm very critical, or I'm being very critical. I think I'm being very critical, but it's fair because they're the senior members, and it was Fabinho and Thiago. Keita that day. Today was Henderson. But I think Henderson's been pretty good in pre-season. Today, on the ball, he wasn't amazing, but off the ball, he was sensational. Off the ball today, and people don't see that side. They just see he misplaced a few passes. Yes, he's not as technically as gifted as Thiago is, or Naby is. He takes 2-3 milliseconds longer to find a pass or control the pass, so it doesn't look good on the screen sometimes. But off the ball, when you're at a game, see, I don't want to be that guy. And I always bring this one up sometimes, but I don't want to be one of those guys that says you have to see these people live to appreciate sometimes what they do for your team and club.
No, sometimes no, that's fine. Sometimes you do. I remember the first day I
Gini
watched.
Wijnaldum was the
And yeah, Gini Wijnaldum was
Yeah.
absolutely one of the best examples of that. Everyone, when you see a team on screen, and of course, I'm not that guy that's saying you don't know nothing if you haven't seen something live. But what I mean is, unfortunately, it's fact that when you see something with a full scope live,
Yeah.
you can see things that you can't see on the screen, or you can see instructions from the coaches being relayed to the players, and those players fulfilling those instructions to a level that you can't see on the TV screen. And that's why you possibly think that's why the coach keeps picking him. Where Tom, Mo, Bilal, Omar on Twitter and everyone are saying, why is the manager picking him? When you're there, you realize when he's giving an instruction to a player X and player X fulfills that instruction, that's what the coach wants. He doesn't care about the fancy shit that you want to see that the player hasn't done. So Henderson put in a performance today that was vital for the team to win, but it wasn't vital to the eye test of a fan that watched it on TV, because I was frustrated with him when he put one or two passes out of touch where he could have put more pace on it or less pace on it, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those ones where it's very tricky when you think, replace him with him and watch how much better we get. Replace him with him and watch how much better we get. And today was a prime example, because every Tom, Dick, Harry, cat, dog, tortoise, fish said, add Haaland to this team and it's all over for world football. That's what they said, didn't they? Everyone saying that. Add Haaland to this team, it's all over. And I've been saying it, it's not all over. Just adding Haaland without a structure, without a way of playing, without getting everyone the same wavelength, without getting the press right, without getting the timing of the passing right, which will come, by the way. Haaland will end up scoring loads of goals. But so did Cristiano Ronaldo for United. Doesn't mean it ultimately means the team will get better. I genuinely think they came close to perfecting Premier League football when they reached 100 points, or when they won, or even last season, 98 points, 100 points. They've come close to perfecting Premier League football. It's not as easy as just adding Haaland and they disrupt that whole way of nearly perfecting football, suddenly throwing it in the wind. That's just my opinion, guys.
We did the Premier League a favour today. I agree. We showed the Premier League that the KDB to Haaland combination, as scary as it might be for everyone, and I will admit that on paper it looks amazing. KDB feeding balls into Haaland, that's one of could be the most lethal partnership in football. It reminds me a bit of the Gerrard Torres sort of partnership, but on a
good comparison.
That was different, man.
So
relax on that for now.
We showed that there was a formula that could stop that. Now I know we're Liverpool and we're on that level, and I know lots of teams can't go toe to toe, but we showed Premier League teams that if you want to beat City, you don't have to be scared of them, because no matter what, if you back off and you play a low block, City time and time again will break you down. I've seen Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is one team that I see go toe to toe with Man City a lot, and they tend to get good results with Man City. So, look, I think there's a formula there, and I think we've done a favour to the Premier League today.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of teams that are showing, there is a way to beat Man City. Crystal Palace is a great example of that. Like, the way they play is kind of similar to Liverpool. And I think Vieira, he understands that Man City way. Obviously, he was there for a bit, learned a lot of his trade in the Man City group as well. And yeah, Mo as well mentioned Tottenham. The five at the back sometimes sitting back and then hitting them on the break and transitions. It's another way to get at Man City. Even Lyon did it in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Monaco as well? Many teams have done it to Man City, but it doesn't happen every day, and it takes a special kind of team maybe to get them kind of results all the time. So yeah, I think this title race, I did say it might not be in the 90 points again. It might just be in the 80 points now. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe we could go back to kind of a normal settings in the Premier League. Everyone's investing as they do every year. But
let's see. I still think we're going to be the flagship, both for our clubs. It's still going to be high 90s or mid 90s, whatever it is. But it's going to be intriguing. Mo, as usual, wonderful contribution. Thank you very much, my brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. See you guys.
We actually, I'm going to catch up with you hopefully, and we're going to start the European show that I spoke to you about. So I'll catch up with you in the week. Look after yourself.
Yes.
Take care. Bye. Guys, let's just quickly wrap up. I'm going to bring in the last caller. Guys, in the studio, I can't take no more callers. I'm dead. It's nearly 3 hours. Only one last caller, and that lucky caller is Zuberi. Zuberi, are you there? Are you good to go, Zuberi? You're on mute.
I think. Yeah.
Mute. Let's see if you can fix this, Zuberi.
There we go. Now you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I just messaged you. I said it's gonna have. I'm so sorry, but it's gonna have to be a quick thing because it's coming up to 3 hours and I'm broke.
I understand. Yo, what the madness going on? You can see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah.
It's a bit off key, like Man City today, but we can see you.
Okay. Okay. I was watching the game, Grizz, and I wasn't quite impressed, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has to do with the tactics. I think the tactics shift. We don't really have that speed going down the sides. And I don't know if you guys see the same thing with RV and our Carvalho. I think that's how we're gonna shift. We're not gonna be over the top running it down. I don't see Diaz trying to burn anyone. I don't know if I'm comfortable with it though. I don't know if you guys are. With the change, it's not as dynamic as it once was, where we just blaze a team on the counter attack. I saw Elliott had a chance to do it, didn't really do it. So I wonder if that's the new thing. I'm not really excited about it. It's not an exciting football, but I think we'll win games. I think we can win the league that way. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So let me get this right before I address it, because you didn't enjoy today, did you say?
No, man, I felt like no, I didn't enjoy it. It was a good game, but I didn't really enjoy it.
Okay, so you wasn't impressed the way we played, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, man. It could be a preseason thing, but I wasn't really impressed, man. Because when I see the player goal side of the opposition and know it in himself, he doesn't have the pace to go and outrun the player. And it's not even a speedy player. I think it was Cancelo. Cancelo's not known for his speed. Mm-hmm. And they force a way to cut back. I'm not really impressed with that because you had all that field to run into. I mean, if that was Salah or Mane, we already know what it was going to be. It was going to outrun him, run down on the goalkeeper, and score kind of thing.
Okay, I think this could be very brief from me, and then the others two can say what they want to say, because I disagree with pretty much everything you've said. In my opinion, I think it was a very good performance from Liverpool. In my opinion, I think we showed the pace and the dynamism in the first, especially in the first 30, to put them on the back foot. In my opinion, the changes that were made in the second half that you're referring to in terms of Elliott and Carvalho weren't meant to stretch them. It was meant to control the game, and I thought we'd done that. That's my opinion. I'm very confident. I very much enjoyed the way we played. We played the full strength Man City team from A to Z, apart from Laporte for Ake. But in terms of the midfield setup, in terms of their forward setup, I thought we nullified them. It's preseason for them, then it's definitely preseason for us too as well. So therefore, that neutralized that point that it's only preseason for them. As far as preseason friendlies goes, that was the most unfriendly preseason friendly you're ever likely to see. I thought the tempo in that first 30 minutes was helter-skelter, and I thought we dominated them. I haven't seen a Man City dominated like that apart from the semi-final, And lo and behold, that was Liverpool that dominated them in that semi-final too as well. I thought Mohamed Salah was the standout performer, the standout pace merchant, the standout controller in that first 30 minutes. He was toying with them. I thought Diaz gave Kyle Walker the most uncomfortable game I've seen Diaz give in a long time. And I thought Bobby Firmino upset the rhythm of their playmaking in the middle as well. I thought Klopp's tactics were perfect. And that's just my opinion. The others two can give their opinion.
I think it's two words. It's Man City. The only team we play every season that we maybe have less of the ball than we normally have. I think when we normally play, we're playing against teams that are in no blocks, where the likes of Elliott, Carvalho come into it, and their sort of creativity will come into the fore. So I understand your point that maybe when they're coming on to us, you want players to stretch the game. Again, that's where we're missing Diogo Jota. If Jota comes off the bench, I agree, he's the type of guy that will. But
I thought Nunez stretched them to the max. Yeah. They were shit scared when Nunez came on. So that's why I disagree with Zuberi, because when Nunez came on, they retreated 10 yards, and the reason why they retreated 10 yards was the pace of Nunez. Again, just my opinion.
No. I agree. I agree. Nunez did stretch the game. And I agree that the likes of Elliott, Carvalho, Keita, they came on to control the game. But then, when we play Man City, it's the only fixture every season that our style sort of changes, that we go back to our sort of counter-attacking style that we saw under Klopp in the early days. Against everyone else, we have teams camped in, like Bilal was talking about against Arsenal. Pressure is so fierce that teams can't get out of their half against us, so we end up camping in their half. So I think we have to accept that when we play Man City, we will face moments in the game where we suffer, and we have to just sit back, and we have to combat that in many ways. But I do agree with Grizz that I think in the first 30 odd minutes, Diaz and Salah did stretch the game. I think the best examples are like when Trent flips a ball 60, 70 yards to Diaz and he's one-on-one with a defender, or like Salah gets played one-on-one and he's running at the defense. So there's different ways to go about it, and Zuberi, I completely understand you. Maybe when you have the likes of Elliott and Carvalho, they might be more useful off the bench when you're playing a tired low block. But equally, I think Nunez, he offered a dimension that I've personally never seen us use against Man City, and that's a number 9, because we haven't had that sort of number 9. So I think I don't think it's a stretch what you're saying, but I think the way we manage it, I agree with Grizz. We handled it pretty much perfectly.
Bilal, anything?
No, I totally agree with your guys' points 100%, because watching that game, for me, I saw a team in Liverpool who, over the course of 90 minutes, if you take out the different parts, with Salah at the beginning, with Diaz on the other side, and then when Nunez comes on, so then you start imagining these guys in the front three. I just see complete fluidity. I see them stretching teams like you want, and I see Liverpool being like even a bit unpredictable in their attack. I feel like Salah, he can drift in, he can drift out, because sometimes he really holds the width and Trent gets to come inside. And then Nunez as well, he's also really good at operating in the left half spaces. And then Diaz sometimes comes in from a bit deeper, out wide, and brings the ball in as well. I feel like Liverpool have so many different options. It's really good. And the one thing Zuberi highlighted was that when Harvey Elliott and Carvalho came on, I think you shouldn't take this as a, why are they not stretching the pitch so much? I think you should take it in the sense like, listen, Liverpool now have options. They have more variation in the way they play. They can bring on the likes of these maybe really technical players in terms of Harvey Elliott and Carvalho, and start, just passing the ball around, start trying to dominate the game or trying to take the edge off the games. You don't need to play 100% heavy metal Jurgen Klopp football all the time. Now you can start picking and choosing maybe, because you have these options in your team. So for me, I look at it as a positive, and I see that Liverpool, to be honest, are starting to look in really, really good shape. And it's just a case of now how Man City are going to react and how they're going to, because from today, I think Pep's going to have a lot of questions. He's going to think, okay, that's Liverpool now. Look at the way they're operating. Look at their signings. Look at how quickly they're starting to work. And Pep's going to be thinking, okay, I need to figure out Haaland. How are we going to make sure this guy is on job 100%. How are we going to make Grealish on job 100%? So I think you should look at it in a positive way.
Zuberi, I want to ask you: was you more frustrated or worried or not happy with the personnel, or the style of our performance today? Which one was it?
It's a wild one, kind of like Narit. And I don't think Narit is sleeping right now. I think he's still up thinking about it, because I might be up thinking about it. So here's the thing. What you and Omar said, spot on, right? There, you can see different parts in the game as far as how we approach it. And I think tactically, it was for this game. I don't think we approach every game like this game. And but the worrying thing is, when we do shift that tactics, if one of those players, and I know it's all ifs, if one of those players get injured, the guy replacing that player is of a different style and caliber. So and it affects the tactics too much. And I think that's what Narit was going on as far as being injured or having injuries up front. Because you're right, when Nunez came on, he was like the pace guy in the front three at that time, like in the latter stages of the game. And if we was to lose him for a toe injury or ankle injury, the other guy doesn't have his pace. And it's the same for like Salah and Elliott or Diaz and Carvalho. I don't know enough about him, so I can't say.
Okay, I didn't do that, people. Promise you I didn't do that. So I think he's lost reception.
Yeah, he's not
it's probably bad timing for him, because Zuberi is a top guy. I love him to bits, but it's 3 hours and I'm going to wrap this show up. People, this has been an amazing call-in show. Ohms, Bilal, thank you very much for helping out today.
Pick up you two being the ones here for 3 hours.
Yeah, man. I just want to hear this intro again, man. How'd you hear this intro again, man? I want to hear this outro. People, love, respect to all the people in the chat. This has been an immense marathon 3 hour call, but it's been worth it. Some of the best callers I've had, man, for a long time. It was an amazing show, man. And I hope you've liked the stream. If you believe that, even if you don't believe that, just pretend it was a good stream and just hit the like button. We out of here. Tomorrow is RedFellas main show, 10 p.m. It's going to be a blockbuster. We're going to be dissecting not only the Charity Shield, but tomorrow's friendly as well. So that should be cool. Then we will let you know what's happening during the week. There's no more friendlies or nothing during the week, is there? For either club or any clubs now. That's it.
Can't be. It's too close to the season now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but we will have people, and I've got the two people. In fact, it's great. I've got you guys here. We're going to have the Fantasy Premier League show coming up soon. Hopefully that's coming out on Friday, people. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to get on Evan's case. Might even do a draft, and if there's nothing else to do this week, Omar might drum up a quiz. So much to look out for.
We need to do the second part of the predictions. We need to look at that.
We're gonna do the predictions. So there's gonna be loads of shows coming up during the week, and then obviously all leading up. All roads lead to West London and Fulham as far as Liverpool are concerned, and Crystal Palace on a Friday as far as Villa is concerned. Exactly. So people in the chat, thank you very much for staying with us. We're going to talk soon, man. I'm more positive about your team than you, man. I think you're going to be calm.
That is a short straw. I'll still get the short straw.
Yeah, but always them tough away games, man.
On a Friday,
I think it's going to be good.
Palace fans are going to be buzzing for that game, man. Yeah, we'll see how the team reacts. It's a good test for the team. How they're going to all this. We haven't lost a game in preseason. Good vibes. Let's see how they turn up at Selhurst Park, because we got battered last time. It's revenge time now, surely.
Absolutely. People call in Khan. Keep calling in, Khan. Keep calling in these people. Go and make sure you follow them on their socials. Big themselves up. They're doing great work. We out of here, man. Peace.